is going on, everybody? We got a fun Monday night lined up here. I'm excited for this. We were just talking backstage a little bit, and I was like, you know what? It's something that get through that Monday, and I had something to look forward to. I had a buddy to hang out with, and we got hopefully some fun people jumping out in the chat, and we'll just see what's all going on. But no, thanks for jumping in. So we got another episode of the Movie Club that we got going on. We got Dave from 4K Lowedown, also part of the Faces for Radio. Been on their channel a couple times, and I'm excited to get him out on mine. So I'm not going to waste too much time, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring out the man of the hour here. So we got him dancing already. We're ready to roll, aren't we? How's it going, Dave?
What's up, Corey? Yeah, just dancing backstage.
Hey, you got to get prepped. You got to get prepped for a little pregame.
Green room. So I'm in the green room.
Green room.
And now we're out here. So,
hey, you got to put on the mood lighting a little bit.
Got to put on the mood lighting, and on the Faces for Radio, I put on the mood music sometimes. So,
yeah.
Especially when Rich starts talking about stuff, and then I'm like, all right.
Hold on, let me put some grooves on.
Hold on, let me put some mood lighting in.
Yep. Get the music and the mood lighting going on.
Yeah, so. I'm gonna have to get lava lamps for him, so it's like right here.
I love it.
Have those going.
But I know we were talking for a little bit, but how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Personal stuff's kind of kicked my butt in the last couple months, but I was really looking forward to this, Corey. I was like,
I'm excited.
I had a couple of podcasts kind of change on me. So they're like, oh, we can't do it today. Let's do it next week. And I'm like, oh, so what's the next one I have coming up? Oh, Corey. Awesome. So yeah, I remember I was like, hey, Corey, didn't you want me to be on there at some point? And it was like, oh man, I've been so busy. And I was like, no problem. Just let me know. And then you're like,
tell me
July
about
1st. And you're like, July 1st. And I was like, July 1st. Okay. I was thinking like, oh, if he's busy, maybe August, September, but July 1st. So happy July, everybody. And for those of you that don't know me, you're going to find out a lot about me tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I apologize. And at the same time, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like both of them. Well, and that's one thing too. So I'll say no, that was one thing that worked out. I don't usually stream on Monday nights, but then when we got talking, I know I threw it out one time before. I'm like, I got to get you on here. And we're like, yeah. And then this is the way I go, it's like a month or two passes then, and you're like, hey, were you still want to do that? And I'm like, I'm glad you said something, but yes, I do. But man, it's so easy for me it sounds like such an excuse, but time just gets away from me. And then I'm like,
oh man, gosh. But it's crazy.
But I'm excited that we're doing it right now. I know I put all your links and everything in the description so people can go out and check out the 4K Lowdown site and the Faces for Radio site. But you want to throw out real quick, just where people can find you?
Sure. Yeah. You can find me on all the books and grams at the 4K Lowdown. It's in variations at the 4K Lowdown or at the Lowdown 1 or 4K Lowdown. But if you look up 4K Lowdown, LOWEDOWN, because it's based on my last name, you'll find me on all those. That's usually for unboxings, what I call town hall meetings, where I go to town and I pick up a movie, I bring it home. Sometimes theater reviews, things like that. But the Faces for Radio podcast, which is, I've got the @ symbol there on my name. That's our YouTube handle. Basically what we do there is we do new releases every Wednesday night live at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Just talking about anything new that comes out. So it doesn't matter if we think it's going to be good or not. We're going to watch it and we're going to put a score to it and see what's going on. But
and I'm going to say, like we were just talking about me, needing to get back on your show sometime, but that's one thing that I've enjoyed with that, because it throws out some movies that I had never heard of or I might not have gone and seen, and sometimes they end up being
sometimes you get a gem. Yeah, sometimes you get a gem. Sometimes it turns out to be the turd you expected.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, I got it out of the way, so now I never have that what if anymore.
but I think it's a good experience, even if it ends up being one that does not hit for you.
Exactly.
You're getting outside of your little comfort zone maybe, and just checking some other things out that you might not normally have done, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Like you said, you might find your next favorite one, or you can just be like, nope, that wasn't for me.
So yeah, but it's one of those where I'm glad I had the experience.
Yeah.
And I can try to see who I think an audience this would play for. So if I this is not for me, but I can give it a good score here and here because I think people who like this type of movie would like it. So that's kind of where the whole Lowedown method is, the scoring system that we use.
Yeah.
And it's 10 aspects of the movie that we score on a 1 to 10. And it makes you really think when you're watching the movie of how would I score the acting versus the story versus how the end happens versus how the visuals look, how the sound is, the genre and subgenre, things like that. And it kind of makes for a pretty objective score, non-biased. Whereas you can still go, I didn't like that movie, but I can give it a decent score. Because it might have been well made, but just not your type.
Right. And I also like how you do it too, where not everybody knows what everybody else is scoring it, and you kind of do that a combined average. So you get to see what everybody scores it, but then you get that combined average, and sometimes you get a big surprise where, if you have 3 or 4 people on, a couple people, you might have some low ball numbers, and you might have somebody really hit for it, and you get some surprises once in a while where those movies end up landing in that combined total score. But or at least I felt like that, and so that's always interesting. But
yeah, it's awesome. We got a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump in there real quick and
let's acknowledge Caveman.
Yep.
I'll have my cookies ready for you on Wednesday, my brother, because anybody who comes on first and comments first on our podcast on Wednesdays gets it's a picture of a cookie. It's not a cookie. But last week it was Jay Manley who was first, so I found a picture of a peanut butter and jelly cookie. And I put that up on the thing, and everybody's like, "Oh, that was good." But usually I do chocolate chip because that's my favorite. But I have a bunch of cookie pictures now that I put up every week. So you guys, if you're the first one to comment on the show on Wednesday, then you get a cookie.
You get the cookie. That's all right.
Yeah,
we got Prince in here. Happy Optimist and Corey.
What's up, Prince? Good to meet you
today. Yeah, and anybody jumping in here. If you're new to my channel, if you want to check it out and hit the subscribe. If you're new to Dave and Rich, there's the 4K Lowedown site and the Faces for Radio. All the links are in the description. Go out, check them out. Like I said, it's just like watching your by the numbers. You might end up finding your next favorite YouTube channel, but you don't know until you try it out. So just go out there and give it a try. But Gizmo's in here.
What's up, Gizmo?
What crazy thing are you gonna say? I'm just gonna say thanks for being here, Gizmo.
Yeah. Guess what? Miss Caveman, what's up?
Miss Caveman.
Where there's one, there's the other.
Yep.
Miss Caveman, who is healing from foot surgery, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
I'm glad she's doing well. She's recovering.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, always good to hear. I hope nothing but the best for you. Hopefully it's a fast recovery for sure.
Yep.
Holland in here saying, "Hey,
what's up?"
Hello, Dave.
Oatmeal, one of my favorite dudes. Holland's a good guy.
Oh, absolutely. He is everywhere. I thought he was like AI for a little while or something. I didn't think he was a real person or something. he just was like everywhere. So
I remember the first time he came on, I was like, I don't know who you are,
but I like your name.
But I like your name.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
What's up, Mark?
Saying hello. What's up, everyone? We got Mel in here saying,
what's up, Mel?
I always love seeing Mel.
Yeah, we've had Mel on the show.
She's awesome.
Yep.
She is awesome.
I don't mind you interviewing at all. Let's make it happen, Prince.
Yep. Well, we'll try to hit as much as we can. Sometimes you're great with the questions, but sometimes you fire them off rapid fire, and we only can do so many. And we're going to be talking a little bit here, and we always joke around, but my show is like this much talking to the person and this much of the movie.
Oh, at some point,
look at this.
We're going to mention. Oh, you got it too.
What?
At some point, it's almost like we did that on purpose.
Or what?
Or this one. Whoops, that's from Here to Return.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
I have the other one too. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it by the TV because I put it in the machine. Hold on.
Oh, this is awesome. Got some other people in here saying hello, saying hey to Mel, saying hello to Mel again. I love everybody saying hi to each other. We get all these people, everybody saying hi to each other. I like
they're
that.
fighting right now. So yeah, I've got that one too.
Yeah, I got it too. I cheated though, because
and then I've got that.
Yeah, you got the poster going.
Yeah,
we were talking about. I love the poster up there, but I'm cheating. I got this from somebody that it was the case only. None of the discs were in there, and so I put the Blu-ray from this into this
into that.
case.
Oh yeah, you cheated big time.
I know.
I've got
I'm a cheater. You got the real
both of,
thing.
I got the real thing. Both of these.
Yep. Nope.
Are,
I'm just a
both of these
poser.
are full.
Yep. I'm a poser.
But yeah, no. From here to eternity, I'm doing a review of this
I need to
with
watch that one.
Harrison from Really Old Movies. We're doing that Thursday.
Oh, cool.
This week.
Cool. I'll have to try
So
to check that out.
On the 4th of July, we're going to be doing a review of From Here to Eternity, which was based on the attack on Pearl Harbor. So,
oh yeah, yep, that's right. I still need to watch that one. That's one of those big classics that has I just never got around to it.
yeah, it was a first time watch for me.
We got Mika in here. So.
Hey, what's up, Mika? She's one of my favorite people.
Oh gosh,
We had a great time on the show. Mika and Kira came on the show.
they're awesome.
They did a high five. Rich wasn't able to attend, but I got his scores. And they did horror movies. We did it in October.
Yeah.
And then because they're big T fanatics.
Yeah.
So every movie that they did,
I saw the one
paired
you did
with a T
Yep.
and put it on the show. And that was I was like, wow, that turned out a lot better than I thought, because I didn't, I put a lot of effort into it, but I was this is either going to go really good or really bad.
Yeah, no, I saw that one. That was a lot of fun. I as soon as you said that, it's been a little while ago now, but it's like one of those that I had them on my channel a couple times now. So like just recently with a big panel, but I don't know. There were ones I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'd like to have them just back on themselves again sometime.
Yeah.
And just
I want to get them on for By the Numbers and have them on again. But yeah, they're so great. And we do a series show. We did True Detective.
Yeah,
I
followed that quite a bit. Yeah,
the three of us did that, and we're looking for another show to do and get started with. So
yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, you guys did a good job with that one. That was because I missed the last few of them because I was like traveling a bit, but I tried to hit quite a few of those, and I loved following along, watching it, and then listening to you guys give the breakdown and after the show. But
our predictions. It was really cool how we were like putting stuff together and pictures, and we were predicting what was going to happen, and it was fun. I had a blast.
Kind of adds another level to it.
I came in as like what's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
He and I are big horror movie fans, and he likes the found footage movies like I do. So we're just rattling off found footage movies that we have to see if the other guys got it. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
We
got a lot of hellos back and forth here.
Love the back and forth. That's like one of my favorite things in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. That's the reason I think I've leaned. Well, not why I think I have. The reason why I have leaned more into the live is being able to have this interaction.
I love the interaction. We love doing the lives more too. It's so much more fun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm right there. And we'll dive into that.
Draculina.
Yep. Hey, Caprice, how's it going?
She is a sweetheart.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, we got a lot of fun people just jumping in here. What's your favorite movie? Or sorry, four favorite. Wow, just off the bat, just gonna.
So 4 favorite films. So of all time, I mean, I've got to put this. This is like in there for sure. But Independence Day is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Yeah.
And then followed by The Count of Monte Cristo, 2002 with Jim Caviezel.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Number 3 is a movie called Serenity, which is the
Firefly,
kind of Firefly based.
Yeah.
Love that. Number 4 would have to be The 13th Warrior. With Antonio Banderas.
I've never seen that.
It's an amazing movie. Dell only was like, it was okay. But The 13th Warrior, and it's only been out on DVD. I'm praying for a 4K of this because it's so fun. And then number 5 would be Big Trouble in Little China. So I gave you an extra one there, Prince.
There you go. You're welcome. You got extra. You got a free one.
Free of charge.
Yeah.
just like if I gave you dead batteries, it'd be free of charge. The dad jokes are also free of charge.
Yeah, exactly. We both might have some of those rolling out here before.
might have some of that. By the way, my shirt says "I want pizza, not feelings." So,
pizza's more fun.
Pizza's more fun. Pizza gives me feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, full feelings.
I love it. I love that's one of my favorite things is just seeing the community and how everybody knows everybody and everybody is just happy to see everyone. And you don't get that in the real world.
No.
You try to say hi to someone, they're like, go away.
Why are you talking to me?
Why are you talking to me? It's usually more colorful too, like F-bombs and stuff. people road raging you on the highway and things like that. It's really good when you come in here and you just have a whole bunch of nice people. Everybody comes in with the same thing in common.
Yeah,
And
just to hang out.
everybody loves movies.
Yep.
And everybody may hate Chris, but everybody loves movies.
No.
Not this Chris.
Yeah.
But the TV show.
Yeah, no, I know. It took me a second, but I know I got it there.
Yeah.
But no, Tiana, I love chocolate chip cookies, so she's up
Chocolate
for
chip cookies. That's my favorite.
Yep.
So bad. I'm so bad. I'll eat the cookie dough, and my wife gets so mad at me.
Oh goodness, I always feel like I'm bad about keeping up with the chat, but that's what I would rather have this though than the. You know, it's like
Did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends? We were best friends before this. No,
we were best friends before that. Now just everybody knows.
Yep.
Speaking of Kurt Russell, break down the most underrated movie of his.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go Soldier.
I like Soldier. I
like that movie. It's so good. Mm-hmm. And it's not mentioned as far as one of Kurt Russell's best. I mean, yeah. I like Bone Tomahawk. I like Tango and Cash. I liked him in Sky High, even though he's ridiculous in Sky High. Yeah.
No, it's fun,
I enjoy it. He's funny.
Yep.
He's got a great sense of humor. He's got great timing. Yep. But yeah, if I had to pick an underrated movie of his, it'd be Soldier.
Oh yeah, I like Soldier. I that's one that I've gone back and watched. I don't have it in the collection, but that's one of those I'll catch on like some streaming service or a cable channel or something, and it'll be like halfway through it, and I'll still end up watching. You know what?
Oh yeah,
and I've seen it a bunch.
It's one of those. Yeah, you just turn on, you're like, oh, it's Soldier. I'm just gonna leave that.
I know where we're at. Let's go.
I know what's going on. Yep. I know the story. I've seen it enough.
Absolutely. No, I have fun.
Good question, Prince. I like that.
Yeah, he's got some.
What's up, Johnny?
The cool kid in here saying, "What's up, cool kids?"
Yeah.
Was a great time, David. We definitely have to connect again. Always a fun time.
Yeah, that was great. And I felt like I kind of imposed on the True Detective one, because I came in on the first episode and I was just rattling off in the chat. And then Mika and Kira were like, "Hey, why don't you just come on the show?" so you don't bombard the chat. You just come on the show and
come on, just talk. You won't get carpal tunnel because you're typing so much.
I'd be like, I can type 75 words a minute. So it was like,
yeah, but it's more fun talking. So
it's more fun talking. I'd much rather, I don't much like being on camera so much, but I like talking, and I like talking to people that I enjoy.
I'm
yourself included.
Yeah. No, I right there with you. I'm the same way, but I'm still getting used to the whole being on a camera thing. I don't know. I'm still kind of up in the air about it. Yeah. But hey, I'm going with it for right now.
Yeah, it's hard, especially when you're first starting out. It's just I mean, I had the channel for a while, but I wasn't doing anything on it because I was like, how could I be different than what everyone else has?
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that I found out. One, I have something that's different in the way that I score the movies and things like that.
Yeah.
But two, you don't have to be that different. You can still do your thing, but they'll come to you because they enjoy your presence. They enjoy your company.
Yes. That's your difference.
Yeah.
That's personality.
Your personality, yourself. You're the difference.
Yep. I've had some people tell me that before too. It's like, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're doing the same thing as somebody else. It's just if you're having fun with it and you just bring your own kind of spin or your own personality to it, and if people want to hang out, they do,
Yeah. I'm just going to quote Kung Fu Panda. There is no secret ingredient.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Jeff is in here saying,
what's up, Jeff? Okay, I met his mother on the show a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Jane Doe.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's Jeff's mom. And I'm like, hey, everybody calls her mama. And I'm like, that feels a little heavy-handed if I call her mama, because I know how old I am.
No. So that's the funny story. I started doing that when I first met her on there, and then it started sinking in, or I was like starting to think about Jeff's age and then my age. And then I was like, one night when I was calling her that, I was like, I'm sorry, we're probably not that far apart in age. It might be kind of, and she's like, no, I like it. Go ahead. That's fine. And I'm like, okay. So I just call her my honorary mom.
I don't mind it. And I was like, I'm probably older than you.
Yeah.
Like by a lot.
But it's just that, like a nickname or whatever. Yeah. So, for sure. But, Mika was saying, yes, we have to pin down a TV show.
Yeah. Cause you got to see what new ones are rolling out. We were going to do them, and then that kind of fell through a little bit, but no, I'm down to whatever they pick when they're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Well, and that's quite a commitment too, like to run a series and to do a follow-up show right after each episode. And if it's going once a week, it might not, I don't know, right off the bat, it might be like, oh, no problem. But with everything else you have going on and you get other streams or other things you got happening,
Yeah.
it's a bit of work, I would think, to do that. I mean, to really watch the show, break it down, get some opinions and some, hot takes or whatever, and then be able to bring that and talk about it like through a full episode. That takes a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Saying hi to each other.
Jeff.
We'll run through some of these real quick. Yep. Saying hi to Jeff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always like running. If I skip anybody's, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of running through some of these really fast, but
it's taken an eternity to see From Here to Eternity. Well,
for me, it's still an eternity.
It was an eternity. I just bought the DVD because I was like, the Blu-ray, because I was like, I need to watch that. Speaking of moms,
I know. I was like, speak of the devil, and she appears.
Speak of the she devil. But yeah, I still, it's like, I don't know. It's like the kids that I used to coach when I used to coach junior high basketball and soccer and all that. Now they're all adults. They're all like in their late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And they come up to me and they still call me Mr. Lowe. And I go,
yeah,
you can call me Dave. It's fine. And they're like, yeah, I can't. It doesn't feel right.
Sorry.
And I'm like, I get it. I totally get it because I did, I still, teachers that I've seen that I went to high school, and it's been like 30 some odd years since high school, where I'll still call them, Mr. or Mrs.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. And they're like, you can call me by my first name. And I'm like, no, it just doesn't seem right.
Feels so wrong.
I can't do that.
Well, and I always tell this story every time too, because the reason I like kind of joke around and call Jane Doe mom as well is that happened with my mom with all our friends. She was mom to all of them, and she ended up going back and getting her teaching degree and education degree and her teaching certificate, and started substituting in our school. And it was kind of funny because then by the time she came in there, we were already almost in like junior high, and they'd already known her really well, hanging out. It was a very small rural community, so everybody knew everybody. And she was mom, and it was kind of funny that because then there'd be some new teacher that would come in, and all of a sudden, 14 kids walk by and all call her mom, and they look at her and be like, "How many kids do you have in this?" Oh no, they're just the friends of the boys or whatever. But Jeff is saying hi to everybody, saying what's up, Chris. Thanks everybody for jumping in here. This is awesome.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
I'm just trying to run through here. You guys gonna put up with my lack of ability with chat dynamics here, but Gizmo saying, is this your favorite ones, or you're saying this is Dave's are Titanic, Barbie, Crossroads, and of course Spice Girls for your four favorite?
I hope those are your picks, Gizmo, because. And then I agree with the smoking part that was talked about earlier.
Yeah, I want what he's got.
I do think somebody's on something.
I want what he's having.
But of those, I did like Crossroads, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Or I don't think it is, though. I think
there's
it's
the Crossroads with Karate Kid.
With Ralph Macchio. That's the one I like.
That's what the blues. The blues guitar,
the blues guitar and stuff with the, I dug that. That was fun.
Yep.
But I think Crossroads, that's the Britney Spears or
probably
one.
That's
I think that's the one that he's talking about.
I bet you.
Judging by the theme,
100%. I think you're right on.
The overall theme is telling me that it's not the one I'm thinking of.
Yep. No, absolutely. Hey, Jason, what's up, man? 3 Geeks Podcast. Serenity is a great flick. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. It's fun. It actually. Because I quit watching Firefly because I didn't understand what was going on. But after Serenity, I could go back and watch Firefly because I got all the references, what was going on. I understood it. So then I bought the series.
Yeah. No, I have it too. But that was
there's Rich. There's my bro.
Yep. There you go. Speak of the other half of the dynamic duo, Faces for Radio.
I call he's the bottom half of Faces for Radio. The bottom half. Bottom half. Yeah, he's the bottom half. I'm the top half.
He might disagree. I don't know.
He might disagree.
Yep. I might actually get to meet him in person here.
You guys might have a meet cute coming up.
Yeah, a little play date.
Yeah.
With some people in
I think Jay Manley might join you. I think there's a couple people in Iowa that.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It'd be fun to do that. But so I'm looking forward. Hopefully it all works out. The way things have been going with schedules and weird things popping up, I don't get too excited about things until it actually happens. But I'm looking forward to it. Let's just say that, and maybe going to hunt some movies and just to hang out and do what we're doing right now, just shooting the breeze. But
Yep.
all right. Oh yeah, saying love the dad jokes.
Great.
So we can.
There's going to be a lot of them.
Saying hi to Rich, Caprice. Got Movie Hunter in here saying Evie.
A Movie Hunter.
Thank you, sir. Going through here saying hi to John Doe. Whoop whoop. I probably sound really weird saying that, but you know that's what Mel
Whoop
said.
whoop. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I said off the chain once, and my daughter's like, "Don't do that."
No, please do never.
I'm like, "Isn't off the chain? That's in right now, right?" She goes, "Yeah, but you're not."
Yep. And
I
yeah, and I agree with this right here completely. The YouTube shows are now the new video store, and where you get to hang out, get to meet.
We get to hang out, yeah. You get everything but the hunt. Yeah. The physical video stores now. I mean, we had a new Barnes and Noble open around where I live, and I was so excited because like, great, I can go, get some Criterion stuff that because the ones that I go to have this huge movie section, right? Nothing. There's like one shelf of movies, and it was so disappointing.
That's what I'm holding out some hope. The Barnes and Noble we might be around when I get to meet up with Rich. I think is supposed to have a decent collection, so I was kind of holding off on. I'm not going to get a ton, but with the Criterion 50% off sale going on right now with Barnes and Noble, I won't get many because even 50% off to me of those still aren't like dirt cheap or anything, So
even 50%, I'm like, okay, that would be the regular price I'd be willing to spend.
Yep. So I'll probably keep it around like 2 or 3 probably, but there's a couple. I got to whittle it down. I started putting a wish list together in the shopping cart of Barnes and Noble, and I was like, how in the world did that get to $300? I was like, I got to whittle that down. But it's so easy to start throwing titles in there, and going through it. But saying Happy Canada Day to Tiana.
Mm-hmm. Another whoop whoop.
Yep, I won't say it because I'll say it wrong.
I said it wrong, so that's fine.
I'll put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I love that.
What's up, Movie Hunter?
Everybody's saying love.
Yeah. All right, I'm going through fast here, people. So don't get mad if I'm hit.
Hate is just a word used by people who never experience love.
Gizmo. July 1st, 2024. You're pretty deep, man. You're pretty deep.
That was deep, bro.
I got a nice box in the mail from this gentleman. We were working through some stuff, so I got a nice little delivery, and I got to figure out if I'm gonna do a little video on that or not. But I got some fun DVDs to dig through.
Speaking of which,
you got a few boxes.
Yeah,
you got a few boxes there.
So when my mother-in-law passed away in March.
Oh,
and basically I inherited her movie collection.
That's right.
So they're sending it all to me in boxes. So it's going to be all DVDs, but chances are, because most of them I bought for her.
Well, and if you don't have it on any other format, you still get to see the movie. So I'm good with that. And then some of those might even be stuck on DVD too.
DVD is still my biggest collection. I have almost 5,000 DVDs. So.
And honestly, I don't pay attention to it sometimes. If the movie's good enough, I kind of forget what I'm even watching. I just go with it. And then, I don't know. I'm not like, oh, it looks a little...
There are movies like, that you don't need all that.
Right.
I mean, comedies and dramas especially, you don't need all the effects and 1080p or 2160p. You don't need all that stuff. You just need a good storyline, give me some good actors, and let me enjoy the movie for what it is. And so DVDs are fine. I don't have a problem with DVDs.
Yeah, because
I have a problem with VHS because I don't have any VHS players anymore. But
I have one left. I
have one that does transfers. So if I want to transfer a VHS to DVD, I have that. It's in storage, but I have it. But I don't have anything set up.
I still got one VHS player and one 32-inch CRT TV that is like 500 pounds. It's like 32 inches, and the thing's like. It's amazing. You forget how heavy those things are until you go to move it. And now you get like a 70-inch screen that two people are like, oh, this is so light. There's just a lot more to them with that tube. But Gizmo saying, I'm so thankful for Corey giving me all the Rose love in my life. There you go. His favorite movie of all time is Titanic, and his favorite character is Rose. And I'm being sarcastic, but he loves Titanic, but he likes giving Rose some hard times. But
yeah,
I
have an experience with Titanic that just sticks in my mind, and that's otherwise the movie's really long. But
it is a long one. That was one of the last ones I remember. My wife and I went and saw it in the theater, and that was one, or at least at the theater we were at, they actually had intermission with it, where it said intermission, and they gave you like 5 minutes to go.
Go potty. Jeez.
Yeah, or go,
because they had to change tapes.
Right. They have to put the next reel on.
They had to put the next reel on. It's gonna be
okay.
Yeah.
But Caprice was saying, well, we all love seeing you guys on camera, so then that's why we still do it. Caprice, thank you.
That's a thank you. I think you're blind. Maybe glasses are needed, but thank you. We love you. So
I'll take it. I'll take it. Be gracious with the compliment and just say thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I say, Corey, you could have led the army against Lopan, but his reflexes weren't fast enough. Yeah, it's all in the reflexes.
It's all in the reflexes.
That's what I loved about that steelbook that we were just talking about. They got that quote right there. It's all in the reflexes.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple good times where he throws that out in there, but
yeah, I just love the whole green element in here.
See, that's where I cheated. I just have the
so I've got the actual discs.
Yeah,
from the movie.
I'm a poser.
Steelbook, you guys.
I'm a pretend collector. I'm not a real one.
Fake. No. Now, shoot, if because I'd buy the DVD, and then later on when I could get the Blu-ray, I'd get the Blu-ray, and then I'd actually get a double case and I put the DVD in there. So I have one case with both, and I don't have to, and then I can throw the DVD case out or use it to fix some broken ones or whatever.
And this one, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was on one of our last Iowa meetups, and it was kind of like, there's no discs in there. Would you want it for like $1 or $2? And I'm like, oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that and throw my Blu-ray in there. And
if I had that option, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Because I love steelbooks. I'm a big steelbook collector. So,
they're fun.
I don't generally get that offer. It's usually
well, no,
usually,
that's the first.
Do you want just the discs with no case? And no.
I've had that happen before too. But yeah, Chris saying hi to Jeff, his geeky brother, and Jason was saying, anyone watch anything good this weekend? How about Dave? You got anything new and exciting that you recently watched?
Did I watch this past weekend?
It's bad when I gotta like look at my Letterboxd account and be like,
right. It's got to be like, because I did watch From Here to Eternity for the first time. I watched Bike Riders in the theater. That was pretty good.
I was gonna see that, but I haven't.
I watched One More Shot, which is on Netflix. That's coming up. We're gonna talk about it Wednesday. Let's just say it wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
And then the American Society of Magical Negroes, which is that's also coming up on Tuesday. So usually my weekend watches are ones that we're going to review the following Wednesday. So
okay.
But Bike Riders isn't. Bike Riders is later. Like mid-July. I think we're going to do that. July 17th or 18th, we're going to do all theatrical releases that have come out in the first couple weeks of July.
I think my most recent, so I rewatched Big Trouble in Little China that we'll talk about for 2 minutes of this, however long stream. But
I've got a plan right now.
yeah, I know you said you were going to throw that on there. And then I was on a 70s horror stream, so I did a couple rewatches. I rewatched Carrie and The Wicker Man, and then I finally saw, one of my streaming services I got really cheap. I think it's Peacock. Had Monkey Man pop up on that, and so I finally got to watch Monkey Man. So
yeah, I bought the 4K of Monkey Man. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. It was good. I was blown away with the choreography of the fight scenes. I thought they had some great fight scenes.
Yeah, and Dev Patel directed it, so he did a good job. I was impressed.
Yeah. No, I liked it. Anthony, what's up?
What's up, Anthony?
What up, pimps? I think he's talking to you, not me.
No, that's not me.
Anthony is in here, the house saying hi. You guys keep it rolling here. Thank you. We were dancing like small peeping tops. Oh, no. Somebody was just talking about. It made me think of though. I think that's a newer. Who just released that? There's Peeping Toms. Is that a Criterion release that just came out? It was an older.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'll keep going. I don't know. I know enough, just enough to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. David, are you drinking a yard of beer?
I am not. It looks like beer, but it is not. It is tea. So.
That's what I tell my wife all the time.
It might be on Long Island, but it's tea.
Hey, Smirk, what's up, man?
Smirk. Remove Spice Girls and add glitter instead of gizmo. You know, I get it.
I love it. I love it.
Kind of figured that was coming.
I love it. Gizmo was saying, I will tell you all a big secret. Anthony is my favorite horror YouTuber in the galaxy of all eternity. I think I knew that already, Gizmo. I think I knew that already.
But is it from here to eternity?
From here to eternity, or all eternity,
or just all eternity for all time? And yeah, I dig horror movie podcasts. I mean, horror is my favorite genre, but as on the show, we talk about anything. So whatever genre comes up, whatever's new, that's when we put it in. And
I think you said musicals are your favorite.
Oh. Musicals are my horror movies because those just
please
I gotta watch West Side Story. No, no, I can't stand musicals.
Guy was saying, David, did you like Knox Goes Away, directed by Michael Keaton?
I haven't seen it yet. That's I bought the Blu-ray because you recommended it, and we are putting it on the show. But since it's not scheduled to come up anytime soon, I haven't watched it. But I've got it. It's literally 10 feet from me.
Rich.
Oh, I am bottom. See, I told you it was bottom.
He owns it.
He's taking it.
All right, we've seen. I'm excited to meet everyone. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to meet up, and we'll have to see what.
Dude, I can't wait. I wish I could come, but I'm in California, so it's not. It's a little bit more of a travel for me.
That's a little bit of a haul for you.
But I'm planning on being in Pennsylvania, in September. So, Rich and I are going to try to meet up at that point.
Is there a convention or something going? Or if you're keeping it under wraps, okay, it's okay.
No, it's a paranormal conference. It's the Warrens Paranormal Conference in Gettysburg.
Oh.
So we have an affiliate with Scare Network TV. They have a booth there, so we're gonna go there, stay, work the booth, and do a live stream from the convention. So,
very cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
So is this your first convention you've done before?
Yes, this is the first convention I've done.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple people doing some, and I think that'd be fun. That'd be a fun experience.
Yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, we're trying to figure out hotel and rental car and
all the fun stuff.
You know, we're trying to, because he's in California, he's in Colorado, I'm in California, so I'm trying to fly to meet him, and then we're going to both fly from there, and I think we have to land in Baltimore, because that's only an hour away from Gettysburg. So, but yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Oh, that's very cool. Jeff was saying I might collect VHS now.
VHS is worth money. I still have like 150 or so boxed in storage.
Well, everybody's like, I still have a few of mine. I thought I got rid of them all, but then about a year or so ago, I found a box. I was like, I found some old VHS tapes of mine, but I know the big craze right now is the Terrifier 2 VHS, limited edition VHS they put out in Walmart, and people are going like all over trying to find them. And now you see them for like double or more the price on eBay. People are buying them up and selling them, but I know that's the big deal right now. Have a few of my VHS left. Those are all anime. Yep.
Yeah. No VCRs. Yeah. Wow.
What's like the artist that you grew up listening to?
First of all, I do not testify that I'm grown up.
I don't own that yet.
That's not a thing. I don't own that yet. I'm still a Toys R Us kid.
Yep.
Somebody told me you don't grow up. Men don't grow up. They grow old. So that's what I'm doing. I'm growing old, but I'm not grown up.
All right.
But anyway, when I was younger, as a younger man, It was In Excess.
Oh, yeah.
Was my favorite band,
Okay.
still is.
Yeah.
And Phil Collins,
Okay.
probably some stuff that I liked, and then other stuff all over the place. But those are my two favorites.
That NXS Kicks album was huge when that came out. It was
It
just like
was
it was like song after song was the next single and whatever
Yeah.
was being played on MTV.
Yeah,
it
no,
seemed
I think
like
it
for a
had
while,
8
but-
in the charts that with that album. It was amazing. But Listen Like Thieves is my favorite album
Oh,
of
yeah.
theirs.
I can see that for sure. Yeah, some bands just have those albums that are like it's almost like a greatest hits, but it's just an album, And
Yeah.
I think Kicks was one of those where it just they had a big run of
They
singles
hit it.
off
They
of
hit
that.
it at the right time with the
Mhm.
right music, and just blasted the charts. It
Yeah,
was crazy.
And apparently released those singles in the right order or something was just happening
Exactly.
just right. But
And then probably early 20s or so. That's when I got into Godsmack. That was
oh, okay, yeah,
I dig Godsmack. That's my favorite.
no, that's good. That's a
metal
little bit of a change, but I appreciate that because I listen to things all
Yeah.
across the
All across. If I like
yeah.
them, I like them. So
Yeah.
like now I like 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
3 Days Grace,
Yeah.
and then I like Maroon 5, and so there's just a few, but it's all different genres.
Yeah, if you like it, you like it. Who cares
If
what?
if I
genre
like it, I
is.
like it.
Yep.
I guess you could say I'm pansexual when it comes to music.
Hey, there you go. There you go. You
I like
heard
it,
here
I like
first, everybody.
Yeah.
But
No,
no,
I'm not a fan of country music, but there are some country music artists that I like.
yeah, I will a little bit, just because I grew up with that. But yeah, I'm kind of, but I have to be in the right mood for any of them. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be. I don't know if you have to be happy so you get more depressed. I like to play country music songs in reverse, so then I get everything back.
there you go. It's
That's
like,
another dad
I got
joke
my
for you.
dog. I got
I
my
got
dog.
my dog.
My wife
I got
came
my
back
truck.
home,
I got my wife,
and I got hired again.
and I got
or
hired
whatever,
again. I got my job.
Yep.
So yeah, that's I like to play
That's
those in
good.
reverse.
That's funny. I like that. Van Gool was saying I buy the Scooby Doo movies on DVD or upgrade to Blu-ray. Yeah, yeah, they're not wrong with DVD.
I've got a
Not at
few of the Scooby Doo movies, but yeah, no, I like them.
all.
We're
Johnny
not
said,
supposed to watch things in our collection.
That's
Oh right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I forgot. I'm bad at this.
Yeah, there's probably a few that I haven't seen in my collection. I've got a big collection.
I need to, and I know I have a way smaller collection than you, but I still got enough of my collection I need to dig into. So I've been trying to actually like hold back on purchases lately to dig into more, but I haven't gotten into it as much as I wanted to, just because June ended up being a busier month than I thought, and I just couldn't get as many movies watched as I wanted to. But
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
But yeah, no, I have to watch Dante's Peak. It's so good.
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
And you got Volcano with that. So you got
Yep.
two totally different types
Yep.
of volcano movies. And Dante's Peak is very familiar to me because I grew up around Mount St. Helens
Oh, sure.
when it erupted in Washington. So, and I lived in a small town, same type of thing. We had no idea that it was going to happen. So the May 18th eruption, we had no idea.
Yeah.
It just, fortunately, it blew the opposite side of the mountain off because I was literally 25 miles from the volcano.
Cool. I mean, not cool, but I mean, that's,
No, it was warm.
no, I'm just saying like, that was the wrong word to use, but it's just, that's a impressive memory to have.
It's an impressive story. And it's, cause that was such just a massive thing. It was like, I haven't felt anything like that even to this day.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just with the earthquakes, and then the shock wave from the volcano flipped over my bed with me in it.
Oh, geez.
And it was a pretty big bed, so I couldn't get up. I was pinned under my bed. But
it was like in Step Brothers where you're trapped in the bunk bed.
Trapped in the bunk bed. It was like that. Only it was like
over
that.
on top of you. Yep. Caprice was saying she's a huge steelbook collector as well, and have other media, but steelbooks are her thing.
Yeah, I got kind of hooked on steelbooks, and so now, I mean, even still, I've got a package that I know has the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare on steelbook.
Oh yeah, yep.
There's certain things that I will just flat out, order them. I'll get them.
The steelbook
and-
looks really nice for that one too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice.
Tony at Basement Blues was unwrapping that one. I can never say the title of that. I mess it up every single time I go to say it. But
that's hard to say.
yeah, it's a long.
And I mean,
it's too long for me.
I got that out at the theater, and they were stunned when I said the whole title, because usually people go, the Ministry movie, the one with Superman in it.
Give me movies like Ghost or
yeah, right. Give me, you know,
I'm just like
give me a one-word title. I want a movie like Madonna. Give me like, you know.
Chris was saying he's challenging himself not to purchase anything until he watches 50 films that he owns. 48 more to go. Got 2 down. Keep it going.
2 down. All right.
Yeah, I know it's hard. You always get a bunch of a backlog of stuff, and then I have streaming services too, and then I start watching some of those. So, day one was just okay. Oh, I was thinking about going out to that.
So that means I'm gonna like it.
You'll love it.
I'll love it, because I'm a huge horror movie fan. I love the Quiet Place movies. So and I like Lupita Nyong'o. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So I can't watch 50 Shades of Grey for the first time.
And oof.
It's in your F for a totally different reason, bro.
And oof.
And oof. Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to speed up through here, but you guys are awesome. You keep on
watching.
As long as you're still doing okay.
Directed by Jesse V. Johnson.
I want to watch that one.
Yeah, I'd be down to watch that.
I haven't seen it.
I just recently watched Bricklayer of his, and I bought the Blu-ray of that. I liked it. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped, but
The Crow or Blade, David? This or that time?
That's tough. I like them both for different reasons, but I have to go with The Crow. Would be my pick. Because number one, I have the steelbook of that, and it's fantastic looking.
Yeah.
But number two, Brandon Lee passed away in that movie, and so that I hold that one in a more sentimental regard.
Yeah.
Blade, I love, and I'm praying that we still get the reboot.
Yeah.
But that's looking more and more like that's not going to happen.
Keeps on falling apart. It seems
yeah.
Like, but, what flavor tea, Dave? What do you got?
This is just unsweetened black tea. No, nothing special this time. Sorry, Mika.
Dave, we believe you. That's what my alcoholic uncle said all the time before he slapped my.
Yeah, I'm drinking tea. No, don't look at. Don't look at. Just understand.
It's tea, and then you go to sniff it, and it like burns your nostrils.
Yeah.
No love for the slasher nerd, huh, Gizmo? Oh, just that you do a little back and forth there.
Yeah.
Hey, Fish, how's it going?
Fish, another great guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the honorary shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Nerd Herders. Fish was on the Nerd Herders. It was me, Caveman, another Chris, and Fish, and we went up against the Collectors Club in a trivia contest, and we won. So
okay. Prince is rolling with the questions tonight. He said, "Can you give your thoughts on his top 4? Tron Legacy, The Crow, Watchmen, and Guns Akimbo."
Okay, The Crow, awesome, classic movie.
Yep.
I'm both, I'm kind of anticipating and also dreading the remake with Bill Skarsgård, but I hope he does a good job. Tron Legacy, I had a terrible time in the theater with that. I liked it, but I paid for the 3D. And there were only 2 scenes that were in 3D.
Yep.
And that made me mad.
I saw it in 3D as well in the theater.
So, but I liked the movie. It was okay. I'm looking forward to that. That's got a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Watchmen is great. There's too much blue penis in that for my taste.
Pass for me.
Because I was like, my wife was like, come on, let's watch, let's go watch Watchmen. And I'm like, we're taking the kids.
Yeah.
You do remember Watchmen, right?
Yep.
We don't need a 30-foot tall dude with a giant blue penis. And but Guns Akimbo is awesome. I really think Guns Akimbo is underrated. Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe did a great job in that. I just bought that on a whim, blind, and I told Rich, I was like, dude, you got to see this movie. I really liked it. He liked it. So yeah, it was definitely one to talk about on the show.
Fish was saying he will not have any musical slander while he's present.
Hats off to you, my friend.
I think Holland weighed in on that too there too on the musicals there.
Yeah, I don't like musicals, but I can give them a good score. I just, it's just not my taste.
Yeah. Oh, Caprice
Oh,
is
that's nice.
Callie as
Caprice is
well.
Kelly too.
I did not know that. Oh, I think
Yeah, because I'm close to Mega Mike, the movie man. He
okay.
and I are the closest, or he's the closest to me. But then there are a few people here in California.
Yep. So Prince, we might not get through all the questions here, but I appreciate you. Please don't. I appreciate you throwing them out there.
Don't be discouraged if we don't respond.
Exactly, because we're just kind of running through here. Yeah.
But, in this case, I'm going to pick Fincher. So.
Okay. Yep. I'll do Michael Mann. I'll just be different. We'll just do that.
Yeah.
But,
we'll just do it to be different.
Chris was saying he's in California too, and he's sweating there, is what he said.
Yes,
kind of. Oh, Smirks, Cali as well. You got a bunch of. We got a lot.
We got some Cali guys in here. All right, we represent. Like usually, it's like there's a bunch of Iowa guys and then me on our show.
Yeah, you got to be scared about us Iowa guys. Hey Corey, that's the tagline from James Bond. You need to stop the stream and read it slow and put some focus into it.
Put some damn focus into it.
Yeah, that's my problem. Sometimes I read. I'm not great. Sometimes I'll read a comment or it just won't register, and I'm like, hang on a second, let me just reread that again.
Yep.
But,
and Prince, to your other questions, Guy Ritchie, I pick, and Jake Gyllenhaal, I pick.
Okay, there you go.
Do you collect vinyls? No, I do not.
I have some, but not a lot. But I do have some.
No, I have a record player, but I don't have any vinyls.
Oh, usually it's the other way around. People are buying records or vinyl and don't have a record player, so usually it's a little different.
What's up, Steve?
Saying, greetings, gentlemen and flick friends. Thanks for jumping in. Gizmo, I understand completely. I must go to sleep. See you around. Have fun stream. Kick it like you are.
I was going to say, I think you do need sleep, brother. Yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for
man. You get very little sleep. So yes, please get some.
Yeah.
I appreciate you jumping in though. I really do. Let me run through some. Oh, we got Bacon in here. Park and Sip. What's up, Wilkie?
What's up?
And saying thanks for jumping in here, man. I appreciate it. So many people in here too have great channels. So a lot of people like that. If you see their names out there, chances are go check out and see if they got a YouTube channel, because there's a lot of people in here that do and have some great stuff that they're doing. So. For me, it was 311, Metallica, a few techno albums, Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause still hits hard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Metallica Black Album, best album ever.
Yeah. It sold a lot. They moved a lot of them. Let me skip through a couple of these. Oh, yep. Yeah, saying, hey, Wilkie. Sorry, I'm running through some of these just to catch up. So if, like I said, don't take offense if I'm jumping over. I'm trying to make sure I hit anybody that just jumped in that I have missed so far. Like right here, Adrian James saying hello.
What's up,
guys.
Adrian? But yeah, Prince asked one earlier. It says, if you were meeting your younger self, what movie would you introduce them in the world of cinema? And that's a really tough question to ask, because I was born in 1970, so that gives you an idea of how old I am. And
you're as old as my brother. I was waiting for you to be like, old as what? Like, no, yeah, you're my brother.
I've had people say you're older than my dad, or you're as old as my
brother's
grandpa.
age. No,
and I'm like, that's fine. But so the first movie I ever went to see was The Exorcist.
First one ever in the theater.
First one ever in the theater.
Wow.
First one ever in the theater was The Exorcist. Second one was Jaws. Nice. And then my first drive-in movie was Star Wars. So I don't know what I would introduce myself to that I wasn't already introduced to young. So
I don't either. I love going to drive.
I can't think of anything unless, be like, oh, hey, like something more modern. Like if I could introduce, say, Independence Day to my 7-year-old self, I'd probably go ballistic. But
I always loved going to the drive-ins. I always thought those were fun. But speaking of some cool people, we got Dell jumping in here.
Dell's one of my favorite people.
Yep, he's a good guy.
He's awesome.
A guy I got to meet in person before too. So that's really, really awesome. But no, very cool. Saying hi to Dell.
Nerf herders.
Nerf herders.
Oh yeah, Samara
Which one?
Weaving. Yep, Samara Weaving's awesome.
So you read them faster than I am.
I'm
Getting to them.
as I speed read too. That's why I can, in the show, when those chats come up and stuff
Yeah.
in the show, I'm doing all that. Rich doesn't see any of that.
Yep.
Um,
It's
so
easier when
I'm
you're
keeping
sitting
up with the
back and
chat.
yep. Hey, we got Reed in here.
What's up,
Hey, what's
Spicy?
up,
Reed's
y'all?
in the house. Good to see him.
I love seeing you out, man. Always love seeing you around. Saying hi to Reed.
Ride the Lightning's good. Chris talks about Ride the Lightning, but yeah, Black Album is my favorite. But I
Yeah.
did like Ride the Lightning.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Wow.
Adrian's
Did I just
first
catch
movie.
up?
Cave People Here Are the Eldest. Yep. Adrian says the first movie he saw was Superman
Oh, that's cool.
in
That's one of my
1978.
favorites.
So
I love that one.
So yeah, 1976, I saw Exorcist and Jaws. And
oh wow, so you're pretty young when you.
yeah, I was
saw
6 years old
Wow, that's
when I saw both of those movies.
That's a heck of a
And
movie
Jaws
for
scared the crap
6.
out of me.
I
That's why
can
I didn't
imagine.
understand The Exorcist. I didn't understand it, so it didn't bug me. But now it's my favorite horror movie of all time.
See, I got.
But
see
Jaws scared me so bad I didn't learn to swim until I was 10.
Oh, I could see that.
I had just an unnatural fear of sharks. I wouldn't go in a bathtub.
Okay, so to put this in perspective, I would have been 6 years old when I saw E.T. in the theater, and that scared me to death at the end of that when you have all the agents running in and going after busting in the house and everything. So that doesn't seem quite as scary as you see an Exorcist and then Jaws.
And then Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are some crazy ones to see that young.
Yeah, we'll just say I didn't have a very good stepfather, but he thought that it would give me nightmares, but it didn't.
You were just like, oh yeah, give me more.
But Jaws, I was like, no, I'm not going in that water. I don't care. There's a shark.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night on that 70s horror stream, and I said I don't know how in the world I ever thought a shark could get into a swimming pool, but we'd have some family that we'd go visit them, and they would have a big in-ground pool, and you'd have the deep end where you couldn't see all the way to the bottom, and I was just like dead scared going in after I saw that movie, and my toes are dangling, and I would think I'd feel something, and I'm like, I never sat there and thought like, how would a big old shark get into a pool like that?
So,
but,
it doesn't make sense, but you're still afraid of it. Yeah.
Oh, it scared me to death.
No, if I filled a bathtub and there were bubbles, I wouldn't go in there. I would think there was a shark.
I could see that for sure.
That was it was crazy.
I was the same way. All right, we got some people saying hi back and forth again.
Love it.
I'm gonna put a star in there. So
put a pin on that one.
Yeah, I'll put a pin on that. Oh wait, hold on. We'll do one more because Caveman was jumping in and said E.T. is the best known home invasion horror of all time. I know there's a little joke going around about that.
Yeah.
But, Green Day rules. There you go.
Green Day's good.
So, all right, this is fun. Keep them coming. Like I said, I'm going to kind of jump back and forth. But like I said, there's some nights, this could just be my night. I could just run through and talk to people out in the chat. But I have you on here, so I wanted to pick your brain a little bit on, some of your movies you're collecting, some of your journey so far with YouTube, because I know you've been doing it a heck of a lot longer than I have been. But so about how long do you know, kind of roundabout when you started up deciding you were going to put some YouTube videos out?
Well, I started probably close to 5 years ago now. And it was Spirits with Spirits where I started.
Yeah.
My buddy John, who's in Colorado, his co-host left the show and he was looking for a co-host. And I was like, hey, I don't know if I can do live streams.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go as a co-host on someone else's live stream and then learn what I'm doing, then I'll go ahead and start my own channel. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
So I started doing Spirits with Spirits. And for those of you that don't know, Spirits with Spirits is a paranormal review podcast where we review haunted locations and cryptids and alien events and things like that. I put the same type of scoring system on the paranormal, like 10 aspects, and then we score that on the show. So I started doing that almost 5 years ago. We're coming to the end of season 4.
Okay.
So I guess 4 years, but we're almost done with the 4 years, and we'll be starting our 5th season here on January 1st. But I started doing that, and then went, okay, I think I'm ready to start doing my own channel
Right.
because I wasn't afraid to speak
Yeah.
live. Um,
I still get nervous, but
yeah, I
but
still
that
get
get
nervous too.
but that get you your comfort level up to kind of branch out a little bit on your own.
Yeah. So that's when the Forky Lowdown kind of got started,
Yeah.
and I started doing live streams on my own. Then met Rich, and Rich came on the show, and then he and I have been hitting it off ever since. We had a steelbook battle with 4KD Ray.
That's what I wanted to say, that to talk about how you met.
Yeah, that's how Rich and I met.
So you were on 4K D-Ray's Steelbook. It was he does like the challenges, like the
Yeah,
shows.
he does
and
the
battles,
collection
the
battle where
battles.
he puts up questions like what is your best 90s steelbook or whatever, and then you go and find out your best 90s steelbook, and the other guy picks theirs, and then the chat votes
Mhm.
on which one had the better pick based on the question. It was pretty much like a popularity contest, and I wasn't popular yet, but I'm still not. I'm still not popular.
I'm still not.
Because you passed me in subscribers in just that short time.
Oh, I guess I don't even know. I guess
Yeah.
we gotta be close though.
Well,
But
I mean, yeah.
but what I think it's really
you're at 260 last I checked.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
I honestly.
congrats on that.
Well, thank you.
And
Well, thank you.
and I'm at 253 for Faces for Radio.
Well, that's where we just keep on clawing away and trying to like just inch up like one at a time, like through that. But what I was going to say is like what I thought was cool about like learning that's how the two of you met, and then you've been doing Faces for Radio together for quite a while now, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I thought that was cool that you met on, so basically a steelbook battle, and you didn't come away with, oh, that guy was a jerk or whatever, but you came away with ended up being co-hosts on a YouTube show that has been going for like
3
about
years.
how long? 3 years.
About 3 years now.
So it wasn't just like, I don't know. I think that's kind of a cool story. It was like you guys you must have had enough banter going on in that you're like, hey, we could do this like on a show.
Yeah. Yeah. We were joking. We were making fun of each other. We were back and forth. Rich won the battle.
Yeah.
But I had a blast. And then I told Rich about my show that I was doing by myself.
Yeah.
And at first my buddy John from Spirits of Spirits, he kind of joined me for a few, but then he was like, I don't have time. So Rich showed up on the chat, and I'm like, hey, you want to be on the show? Yeah. And I just brought him in. He and I were talking, and then we hit it off ever since. We were just, so the Faces for Radio began then, but we were still the 4K Lowdown and Turner Fan 77.
Mm-hmm.
And then, 2 years ago, we changed our brand and just went Faces for Radio. And that's where we've been ever since.
So I'm lazy. I just have one channel that I'm dealing with. And, but that's what I think is cool is you have some different things, some different interests, and you have different avenues to express those. So we were talking about Spirits with Spirits with John, and then you got with Rich, you got Faces for Radio, and then you're, running your 4K Lowdown, like, doing your unboxings, some of your town hall, streams. And so how are you liking that how you've segmented those things?
It's pretty good. I was at first I was doing I turned the 4K Lowdown's channel into the Faces for Radio.
That's right. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
So in order to keep, because we were doing all our lives there, so I just changed the brand there, and then I created a new channel for the 4K Lowdown because I didn't like putting my recorded unboxings and town hall meetings and things like that with our live streams.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take that and put that on a different channel. So if people just wanted to watch that, they wouldn't have to, go on Faces for Radio. They could just go on 4K Lowdown. Right. And I like it, but I haven't been filming a whole lot.
Yeah.
Mainly because I haven't been buying a whole lot.
Same here. Yep. Same here.
So what used to be, I would do at least 2 videos a week, turned out to be now I'm doing like 2 to 3 a month.
Yeah, no, I can see that, but that's interesting to have the separate avenues. But I know what you're saying there too. Like, I think all of us have kind of, you hit your little peaks and valleys of purchasing things, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're just like, okay, maybe I need to rein in it a little bit. And
Yeah. Sometimes you're broke.
yeah, right. It's like,
or sometimes your wife goes, you better stop buying movies.
yeah, it's like, all right, we gotta pay for the car payment. We gotta buy some food, and but no, absolutely. So no, I can see that for sure. But I think that's great that you, well, both you and John, Spirits with Spirits, but you and Rich with Faces for Radio, both of you, those two different avenues there that you've collaborated for a very long time, in my mind, on both of those. And it's great to see that you're still rolling and, getting along with it and just coming up with new things, and, keeps going. But
Yeah.
do you, what was I going to say? With me, I've fallen into, when I first tried to do the YouTube thing, I did a couple pre-recorded videos, and then I finally got the guts up to do a live stream. And then I'll be honest, I kind of fell in love with that, with, even if it was one or two people in the chat, you're getting instant interaction with those people and instant feedback. And I just have dropped completely away from the pre-recorded videos. So
Yeah.
do you feel like you've kind of done something like that too or do you have a preference between the two? I think I kind of know, but I don't want to assume.
Yeah, no, I prefer live streaming.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
I love that adulation right away, where you
Yeah.
get that the response
Yep.
to what you're saying, like, and that tells you, like, okay, what I'm saying makes sense, or I have a good point. We have a good topic to discuss, where you don't get that if you record.
Yeah.
But it's also on the other side of the coin. It really sucks doing a live stream and there's nobody there.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've had that, and that's why I was like, I need a co-host, because the very first live stream I did was an hour and a half of just me talking, and nobody came on. It was extremely disappointing, but I only had 6 subscribers at that time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
So, to go from, without any, advertising or anything like that, we're just going by word of mouth. And if I was really into, like, I want the followers, if I wanted the subscribers that bad, I could probably have a couple thousand followers by now, but I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
I want people to subscribe to me. And I'm sure you're the same way, Corey. Subscribe to me if you watch the show and you're into it.
Yeah.
And you want more.
Yeah.
Then subscribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've just done it organically, I guess would be the right way to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we've amassed, 253 on Faces for Radio, and we're at 158 now for Spirits with Spirits. And Spirits with Spirits didn't have any followers, nothing, until we started doing doing live streams and doing recordings. And because our live streams, we'd get a lot of hits live, but people would be watching us on Twitch or Facebook or, what other site, or listening to us on Spotify. It wasn't until I started putting videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
That we started getting the subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
and that I've only started doing in the last year.
But I think, and I kind of feel this way though too, or I think you have really good interaction in your chat, when I've been, dropping in on those. So it's one of those too, like, I'd rather have fewer subscribers, but an active chat,
chat.
It doesn't have to be 100 people, but I mean,
doesn't have to be a whole,
you got like 5 to 6 people, like, are just like firing questions off, stuff like that. I could spend hours.
I would love that.
Yeah,
it's great. And that's a great thing about Faces for Radio is we'll have 15 to 20 live.
Yeah.
And just all in the chat. And that's I think that's a sweet number right there. 20, anywhere between 15 and 25, you get like great interaction, a lot of people talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to stay caught up with it as Rich and I are talking, and we have a guest on the show, and it turns out great. And I love that.
I do too.
But yeah, if we had 5 or 6 people live, just chatting while we're doing the show, it makes such a better show.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm right there with you. It's nice to have that interaction with it, but it's like I would, if you had to choose one or the other, I definitely would go for.
I'd go live.
Yeah, live, and then I'd even choose active. Few people that are really active in chat, then a big subscriber number. But
yeah, I agree.
But
I mean,
we'll,
you can't.
We'll take them as we go. You know,
you can't. You can't monetize without at least 1,000 subscribers and at least like 10,000 views a week or something like that. But until that happens, I'm happy just doing the show and talking with people. I love it.
Well, and then I know I probably skipped a few here, but I was just happened to see out of the corner of my eye. Mika was just saying, really enjoy Spirits. With Spirits, great learning the history of various haunted locations.
That's a lot of fun. I just started doing that as a video recording. So I do the research on the history of the location, and then I record it as a video, change my voice, put pictures of the location up, do that kind of stuff. And then we play it during the show. And then that video I put as a video on YouTube. And I usually get pretty good hits on that. So it's a lot of fun. No,
that's good. That's good. I was just going to say, hey, to a couple people real quick. Toyologist is in here. Hey, Sal, how's it going?
What's up? Good to meet you, Sal.
Great to see you. He's a fun guy. He does Whatnot. I don't know if you've ever gone across the Whatnot auction site. He sells he sells movies out on that, but they'll do like live auctions of movies, and there's different formats that they do. But man, even if you're not buying anything, he's one of those that's kind of fun to. It's a live stream. People are in a chat talking, but then they can also be like bidding on movies that he's putting out. But he's one of those guys that even if you don't feel like buying something, you just jump out there in the chat, and he's kind of fun to listen along to. But, for sure. You and Dave are a great team. Oh, thank you. But
thanks.
What I think is cool is, well, I mean, I think you just get along well with people. So like you and Rich make a great team, and you and John make a great team. And I think that just goes a long way to say, well, I guess all three of you, you have great personalities, and you guys can work together really well. And it seems like
it's about the chemistry. And if you have good chemistry with the co-host, it works out really well because you can play off each other.
Yep. Right there. Yep. You're right. What I was trying to say, but I didn't see that there. Van Gool. Yep. Dave,
you are a beautiful man, Van Gool.
but I agree with that though, too. Like, I think it just shows you guys, you're just easygoing. You're wanting to be there for the same reason, have a good time, and you play well off of each other. Both John and Rich with you, but Chris is saying my live stream of all the colors of the slasher dude.
Episode 0.
I could not read 0. Yeah.
I did not think it went well. 2K views later. See,
that's awesome.
2,000 views later. I don't know how to explain it. And this kind of comes with what Caveman says after this.
This one?
Yeah. Made Kentucky famous by covering the Goat Man. Oddly enough, I did, because we talked about the haunts of Kentucky, the cryptids of Kentucky. We talked about the Goat Man, and we talked about the Texas Wild Man. I did a history video on the Texas Wild Man, and usually we get like 100, 200 views on the history files, nothing big, right?
Yeah.
I put that one on, 15,000 views.
Yeah.
The thing went crazy, and I was like,
that's awesome.
What is going on?
That's awesome.
What did I do? And how can I repeat it?
Just do that every time. Just do that every time.
I just need it. Is it the time of day? Is it, did I do the right keywords? I don't know what I did, but that one, I wouldn't call that viral, but that one went, that one went crazy.
That's a lot to me. I mean, that's crazy.
That's a lot to me.
I've never done anything like that, but.
He meant David.
Yeah.
But
that
Corey,
makes
you're
more
okay.
Sense. Corey, I'm saying you're okay, but I wasn't meaning you. No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't talking about you, but yeah, sure. You're fine.
But I agree with you, Del, completely. They work well off of each other.
Chris said it before too, but Rich and I have a great chemistry together, and he helps rein me in when I go crazy, and I help rein him in when he goes crazy, because we have a little bit different taste. But when we both go crazy, that makes for fun TV. It makes for fun watching. But yeah, I like to say that I can adapt to just about any show that I'm on.
Yeah.
And because I've noticed, being on the show with Mika and Kira, totally different vibe.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
that we work together. Being with you is different.
Yep.
Being with Geeks and Flicks, Alex and Nate,
Yeah.
that's a totally different thing. And I do their show quite a
Yeah.
bit. And then likewise being with Rich. And then if we have a guest, that changes the chemistry of the whole thing. So it's really, it's fun to do. I really enjoy doing it because of those differences and the way that I have to kind of alter how I say things in order to fit my co-host or who's there on the show.
Well, it probably keeps it fresh for you too, because it's different. You know, it's
Yeah.
You're kind of doing similar things, but it just feels different because you're working off. And it's just like even with you and Rich, and when you have one or two guests or however many guests on too, like the two of you doing it, like all of them are fun, but there's probably a little bit difference between just the two of you or having one guest or two guests. And I've had a great interaction with you and Rich on one where it was just me, and then one, you know, when we had a couple guests on there, and it definitely adds a different dynamic.
Had you and Rob and Mega Mike, and we had 5 people. That's the biggest show we've done. And I got messages later saying that was the best show we've ever done, because we had that many people on and we had so many different conversations about the movies, because there was always one person that didn't like a movie as opposed to everyone else who liked it, or there were more people that didn't like it than liked it, but there was always like a difference of opinion, and that made for a great conversation. I love that show. And when we do those, I'd like to have more than one guest, but Rich and I have noticed, we enjoy doing the show just the two of us, but when we have a guest, it adds a different element and we love it even more.
Oh, sure.
And get way more conversation. We love having Nate on the show.
Yeah.
Nate is from Geeks and Flicks. He also has Nate Flick Reviews.
Yep.
He's great. I love it when he just yells at Rich. How did you make me watch that? And then Rich like, I didn't do it.
What did I do to you?
Yeah.
But no, I've it's funny you said that, because I have had just in the past month probably 2 of my larger groups on my channel at the same time, and I was a little nervous about that, because I think up until that point I'd only had like one other person on the stream. But I had people reach out after that too. It's like, oh, that was cool having the bigger panel. Like, you should keep doing that. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds fun. But then it adds a little stress to it too, like trying to coordinate with that many people. I mean, even if just adding one person, you're like trying to work a schedule. But then each additional person you add to that adds another, scheduling, not issue, but more things to take into consideration to figure out a time that works for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And plus you have to, I don't know how these 3 are going to interact with us. True. Or to each other.
Yep. True. Yep.
Cause I've been on train wreck live streams where I could tell that 2 people didn't like each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get that the whole chat just drips with disdain, because the whole live stream is ruined that way. If you have 2 people that don't like each other, or the guests and the host don't get along.
Right.
And a lot of times you don't know that until they first come on.
Yeah.
But I like to go on people's live streams, watch how they interact, either by themselves or with other people. And then I'm like, okay, I think this will be a good fit for us, Rich. Yeah. So let's go ahead and ask him to come on. We want people to come and say, hey, I want to be on your show. Great. I would love for you to be on the show. The only rule is you have to watch all the movies on the list.
Right. Yep. Yep.
That's the only rule. And you're going to have to give me your score. Yep. And I'll walk you through how to do the scoring, because it's a little weird, but
well, no, it's not weird, but it might just be different than what you're used to thinking of scoring it. But it makes sense. It's just like, to me, it was new to me, because I had never really scored. I never broke down a movie that much, I think, before I did your show. But it was a fun practice, or a little thing to go through. It made me focus on a few different things that I maybe looked over in the past with some stuff. So
some things you watch those movies and you're like, and I'm just going to use the example of musicals. Sorry, Fish, but but because I'm like, man, I really don't want to watch this. I know I'm not going to like it, but I will watch it anyway, because I can put scores on the other things, the other aspects of the movie, not just the music, but I can say, hey, you know what? I didn't like the music, but I love the visual effects. I like the story of it, and I can actually look at it for those things. Like, and Fish says it's okay. Thanks, Fish.
I see that. I just saw that pop up.
Because, and I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna say, Fish, I love you, but I hated The Greatest Showman. I absolutely hated that movie, but I still gave it an 81 out of 100.
Which is a pretty good score.
So that's a great score for me doing a musical. That's a great score. Especially because I do the visuals were amazing. The music was good.
Right.
Even though I don't like how they do it in musicals, but the acting was amazing. I really thought it was a good movie, but there's no way you could catch me watching that again. Unless, of course, Fish puts it in his high five and he comes on the show.
There you go.
Then you're gonna watch Greatest Showman again. Because Rich wants me to watch West Side Story, and I'm like, I'm trying to avoid it.
I've never seen that.
I don't want to watch it. But yeah, talk about Caveman forced us to do 6 movies, and so did Dell.
Yep, I just saw both of them throw that out in the chat there.
Yeah,
but I think one of the times I came on with you, you guys added another.
We had another movie. Yeah, we were like, hey,
6. Yeah. And I was like, crap.
I gotta do another one.
Well, it wasn't like a bad thing, but it was one of those weeks where I was like, I gotta really think about my schedule and make sure to fit movies in so I don't run out of time,
Yeah. Dell said he hated Greatest Showman and he likes musicals. Okay, so
there you go.
Maybe I'm not messed up because everybody else said like, oh my god, it's such a great movie. I can't believe you didn't like it.
Fish.
And I've never watched Chicago.
Okay.
I've never seen it. And I love Queen Latifah. She's like one of my favorite people on the planet. I actually got to talk to her and sat with her.
Oh, cool.
For a while, and she's one of the greatest people. One of the best celebrities I've ever met.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And I've met quite a few celebrities, and with working in hotels and working in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
I got to meet a lot of celebrities, and she's top 3 easy.
Oh, that's cool when you can run into people like that and they're that nice.
Yeah.
Like to do that. But
yeah, and Fish says she's amazing in Chicago. Yeah, that's why I mentioned that, because that's the only reason why I watch it, because I love her. She's an amazing person.
Yeah.
And and I didn't think she could sing. I thought she was just a rap artist, but dude. I know she took vocal lessons before Chicago, but she was really good. She was supposed to be really good in that movie.
I'll tell you what, I could take vocal lessons and I still wouldn't be any good. So
yeah.
She's got to have some talent there.
They'd probably give me my money back. They were like, "Oh, vocal lessons. Okay, yeah, we're good. We can't teach you anything.
Sorry, this isn't for you.
We're sorry. You just don't have a voice.
Yeah, this is not for you.
Yeah, I say I sound good, but only when I'm singing alone in the car. That's when I sound good.
Yeah, you think
because no one else hears it.
That's funny. We were talking about you were talking about some of the streams that you had that really jumped off. It had a lot of views, and I think my chat moved right when I was going to push it there. But Jeff was saying I can't figure out the video pop still, like when it. And I apologize if you hear my dog. He's deciding he wants to talk. So
I don't care. My dog is asleep like right at my feet practically. Okay. So
he sleeps like 98% of the day, and then he decides he wants to start barking like right when I'm doing a live stream. So, but Jeff was saying I still can't figure out the video pop still, like those ones that just shoot off. And I think that's like everybody that does YouTube is trying to figure that out, right? Why did that one do?
Yeah, where one just blasts off. I had that happen on TikTok, and I had a TikTok account, and it wasn't anything. I was just, I was keeping track of my son. My number 2 son, David, he's TikTok famous or whatever. He's got like 200,000 followers on TikTok, and he was doing his dancing and singing and all that. So I was keeping track of him. So I got a TikTok account, and I was just doing videos of like nature and stuff.
Okay.
And I did a video of a bumblebee landing on a flower, and this bumblebee was gigantic. It's so much that the flower just drooped when it landed on the flower. And I just put a little music in the background, and I set that off. 200,000 hits. And all of a sudden I had 1,500 followers, and I was like, what the heck just happened?
What was that? Was that because of me?
Yeah. And I had somebody message me and just go, congratulations on going viral. And I was like, thanks.
Oh, that's cool to have that reaction to it. I've had some more. I mean, I've been happy with interactions that I've had, but I haven't had anything that just really shot off like what you're talking about there. So that's cool when to hear that, you have some of those that just really
Yeah. But
take off
it's
like
just
that.
the one. And I even tried to, I tried to resend that and it didn't hit the second time.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is. It's like, you just hit that sweet spot and everybody and their dog looks at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You hit the right topic at the right time, or it had something going on right with it. So,
yeah,
Prince was saying, what movie is a one and done for you, David?
I have a lot of one and done movies. But let's see, what would be like, there's a movie that I watched this year that was fantastic, but it's a one and done for me. And it's called Origin.
Hmm.
And it's just a fascinating movie. And it was one where I was educated more than entertained. So, it was a great watch, but it was one time and I'm done. I did buy the Blu-ray because I think it's a fantastic movie and I want it in my collection,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't sneak it in. And then, I got to say Schindler's List. I think that's the ultimate one and done movie because you can't go through that multiple times. It hurts your heart watching that movie, but it's an amazing, it's brilliant.
Yeah, you can have a great there's different one and dones. There's one like, but there's some that are like, it's a great film and you can be like, that I would recommend it, but it's might be a rough watch.
But I wouldn't see it again because
yeah.
it's that rough of a watch.
Yeah.
There's one and dones where you're like, yeah, that was pretty good, but yeah, I wouldn't see it again. And then there's one and dones where you're like, man, that was great, but I can't watch it again.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
And that's where that goes in. So Prince, that's a good question. And if you're more specific with that, if you're like, fantastic movie that's one and done, because I feel like, some of the greatest movies of all time are like one and done for me.
Yeah.
Where I just be like, no, I can't watch that again. The Godfather being one of them. I'm like, no. Yeah. I'm done with that one. That's partly because it's really long, but it's a fantastic movie. But
no, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, copy and paste to the exact same. Yeah, and it won't pop. I've done it.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't understand why that would pop and it wouldn't pop. Yeah, lightning in a bottle. It's just like it hits at the right time with the right number of people, and then if enough people can repost it, then it hits, and then it grows exponentially from there. But yeah, what's up, Evan?
Evan here saying,
good to see you, my brother.
Just want to say hi. Thanks for
another great guy. We've had him on the show a bunch of times.
Yeah, even if somebody could just jump, I even love it. Yeah, I've been there before too, where I can't sit and go through the stream, but it's cool when somebody comes out and just, hey, just wanted to say hi. And
just want to say hi. Yeah, say hi, throw a like. So guys, if you haven't already, throw a like on Corey's stream, you guys. Let's see those likes go up.
I don't even know where we're at. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
K-Man saying, hey, Evan. Huck said, Dell said Huck.
Oh, I think he probably thought that was Huck's Pop Culture, probably. The bowling. He thought Evan was probably.
Oh, right. Because that's Evan. That's not Huck. Okay. I get it.
I think
and then Fish is a glutton for punishment, for heartache, after seeing Schindler's List multiple times. Yeah, I can't. And that's family, because my family's German Jew. So that brings back memories and sentimental things in a different reason. And there's other movies like that that's just fantastic. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is another example. Yeah. Fantastic movie. It is absolutely a must watch, but I would never see it again.
Yep. No, absolutely. Yeah, I got my pop cultures mixed up. That's all right.
That's okay.
Yep. You guys are at like 300 trillion.
We're 300 trillion likes.
Thanks,
all right.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for keeping me up to
date. I love it. Going viral with Wilkie.
Yep. Well, one that falls into that same category, those movies, and we don't have to get like way into that, but which one was it for yours?
But Prince wants us to talk about movies, so we need to.
I know this is a movie. This is a movie, but I'm blanking on. Oh gosh, Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one that falls in that same category as like Schindler's List. And
again, and that one's it. I would watch that one again though.
That was
because
creepy.
Of the way they treated the sound.
Yeah, that was just
instead of actually showing the atrocities that they did at Auschwitz. They
Yeah.
just showed, except for the, seeing the crematorium, that was
Mm.
that gave me chills. Um, but I might watch. I would get it because I think it's a fantastic film. But I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I would watch it again, but I wouldn't be opposed to it if someone was like, "Hey, I want to watch Zone of Interest," and then I would go,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll play that."
See, I don't know if that's one I could buy. I thought it was a great movie, but man,
Yeah,
that with the sound and then them just leading their little normal life that close
yeah, they're
to
doing the normal
that,
life, just like
that
on the other
was
side
so
of the wall.
creepy. That was so creepy
Yes,
to
and you
me.
hear screaming and gunshots, and
Yeah, that was so creepy to me.
it was creepy. But the way that they did the sound was so good.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's the kind of thing where I would buy it and have it in my collection because it's a great movie.
yeah,
But I don't know if I would watch it again.
yeah. No, I could see that for
But
sure. But well, I'll tell you what. I got some other questions to dive into with you, but what
Sure.
we could do is, but we can maybe. Do you want to jump into the movie for a little bit that
We can.
we're talking about tonight?
we can.
Or do you
It
wanna
just
roll?
finished. The movie just
Yeah,
finished. So
because I talked too long.
we talked for an hour and a half, and the movie is over.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, this was the first VHS I ever bought.
so Big Trouble in Little China, your first VHS tape you ever bought.
Yep.
Did you see it in the theater or did you?
I didn't. I saw it on VHS. Was the first time.
Okay. Okay.
I rented it. I think I was 16. Because it was I think it came out in 85 or 86.
I gotta look it up, but
So do I. But I know it's like 85 or 86. 86. So
Okay,
it's
there we go.
86,
Yep.
which is that was my first guess. So I knew I was right with one of those.
Yep.
But yeah, so it came out in 86 and I turned 16 May of that year. And that was a summer watch, like one of the first movies that we ever rented because I lived here in this town, but in 86. And we had a place called the Silver Spur that was a liquor store and a movie rental place.
Hey,
So
there you go.
You can rent movies and you can get tequila. So
Yeah.
hey,
Hey,
so
your weekend is
win-win.
planned.
But I was underage, so I didn't drink, or at least nobody knew I drank. So, but this was one that when I saw it, I loved it, but nobody liked it back then.
It bombed in the theater.
It did. It bombed in the theater. People were like, "Oh, that's like a horrible for John Carpenter. That was awful." Because I was like, so it was a guilty pleasure at first.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't tell anyone. It's kind of like being a fan of Michael Bolton. You don't tell anybody, but you're secretly a fan of Michael Bolton, right?
What are you trying to tell us? No.
Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Metallica all the way.
Back to the movie.
Back to the movie. What were we talking about? Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. So it was a guilty pleasure. It was something that I liked to watch, but I didn't really tell anybody that I liked it.
Yep.
But nowadays people are like, "Oh my God, Big Trouble in Little China is fantastic," and I'm like, "Really?
Where were you?
Where were you when I was like, because I bought this, I was 18 or 19. It was my first VHS purchase. This and Treasure of the Amazon was the other one.
Okay.
And I wore both of those things out. I still have the case, but I no longer have the movie.
Nice. Well,
but I still have the case for it because it was my first buy. So
yeah.
So I've got it on every format all the way up to 4K. Well, no, it doesn't have a 4K yet. I want the 4K, but I have it on all the formats. VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. Twice on Blu-ray.
No, that's cool. You said
but I'm waiting for a 4K of it. I heard it was coming, but
I would not be surprised. It's got, but like you said, it's kind of crazy when you have some of these films that just do not do well at all in the theater, but then they have their fans, but because they have those fans, I think then it starts growing. And a lot of these, when they would then get out on VHS, then they got even more and more followers. And then you kind of get that cult following behind some of the movies. And like, I think this is one of those that it probably ended up doing pretty well after the VHS sales and rentals and things like that. Yeah. But if you just went strictly off like nowadays, you pretty much go off the box office take. And, if you just looked at that for this one, it was not good. but I think
Yeah,
overall it's done
let's
well.
look at the box office take. So it had $25 million budget, and it made 11.1 million in the box office.
Okay. Yeah, not good.
So 25 million and 86. That's that they put some money into this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I absolutely loved it, and still love it. It's I think it's one of the most rewatchable movies.
It's
Ever.
got it's got a crazy mix of, I mean, you got some comedy, you got action, you got you got
fantasy, you got
fantasy, martial arts,
martial arts. Yeah, you got like a bunch of, you got a little romance in there.
Yep.
You got most of the, and you got horror. You've actually got like some scary stuff going on with the monsters and the one dude blowing up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that until I rewatched it. I'm like, but as soon as I knew it was coming, and like I kind of forgot about it. And I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah. I remember watching this movie the first time, and I'm like, man, that guy's pretty invincible. I don't think you can beat him.
Yep.
I wonder how they're going to do that. And they blew him up.
Yeah.
they had him blow himself up.
Yeah. He like blew himself up.
I just love that where it's like plow and you just see cabbages fly out.
Yeah.
I was like,
we better get out of
somebody
here.
made kimchi just so they could just throw that out into the hallway.
Splash it against the wall.
Yeah. It was funny. It was so funny. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's got great action. It's got some serious stuff. It's got monsters and mayhem and magic, and yeah, it checks all the boxes for me.
Oh, I was like completely, I don't know why it was making me laugh, but now I'm like completely blanking on the name of his semi. Was it the Pork Chop Express or something like that?
Yep.
Or I don't know why, but I forgot about that, but I started laughing at that. And then he would talk about himself in third person a lot. And well, you know what all Jack would say on a cold
Jack Burton would
night.
say at times like this, when rain's coming down and sheets thick as lead. Yeah. And it's like, hey, have you paid your dues? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
Check is in the mail. And I'm like, oh, he was like the cool dude.
Yeah. And it was so funny because he's ridiculous.
Yeah, he is.
But
I think that's some of the comedy though too, because he'd get himself in these little, like, he'd get caught in like I don't know, like, oh, there was like some big it was almost a statue guy that was coming after, but he had so many situations like this. Like the guy's coming down with him with a sword while he's trying to get his knife out, and he's coming down on him, but he puts his knife out of his boot.
His knife reversed in the sheath and then it goes like that.
But then he can't get him off of him.
But then he can't get him off. Shoots the gun in the air and knocks himself out.
Knocks himself out. And there's like so many things like
through
the whole thing.
I love just go, okay, on me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Opens the door, close it. We may be trapped.
Yeah, we may. There were like so many things like that where he was like such a cool dude and like tough guy, but then he would bumble and stumble, in some of those points. But it made for some good laughs throughout.
It was fun. It made it so much fun. And Fish mentioned that it's all in the reflexes, a line that he uses all the time.
He throws that out a few times.
I totally get that. And it's total foreshadowing because you just get that in like a random scene and he hits the bottle, goes tunk.
Yep.
And then when the end with Lopan, he throws the knife at him, and I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense now. But yeah, that's it. This movie has so much foreshadowing in it. It's hilarious.
And we were talking about the crazy looking creatures. Yeah. Only saw this for the first time a few years ago. Fun, didn't love it, but but it's fun. It's kind of
and maybe if I had to see the first time recently, I might feel the same way.
It could be different,
but I watch it now and I still have that 16-year-old brain from when I watched it before.
Yeah. And
how I liked it. So it just makes me love it. It's just like Independence Day. Independence Day is my favorite film of all time, but it's not a good film. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's really not. There's some holes in the story and there's all kinds of issues. They put a dildo on the outside of the spacecraft, but
I guess I missed that.
The thing that they used to upload the virus.
Yeah.
It came out and it just looked like a silver schlong.
I guess I didn't
sticking out from the ship.
It's been a long time.
I laughed my memory of it was the experience I had in the theater. That was like one of the last times in the theater that we had a completely full house. It was standing room only. and everybody was reacting and clapping at the end, and I missed that about the theater. So
Yeah.
so when I watched that, and I watch that every year for 4th of July,
Yeah.
I don't watch the second one, but I watch that every year for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I always remember that experience in the theater, because that's what made that movie for me.
No, I could see that for sure. So what are your highlights of some of your highlights? Would you say of Big Trouble in Little China? I know we're talking about a lot of the things that we like about it, but is there something that stands out? Whether it's a particular actor or actress in it, or I just what really draws you back to it? I know nostalgia is a big part. Like you said, this is your first movie you bought on VHS, but I'm just kind of curious some things that really draw you to it.
That's interesting. So I like things with magic in it.
Yeah.
And I'm a big martial arts fan. So those are two big draws right off the bat, with the lightning and the martial arts. The martial arts action is amazing in this movie. And then I got to say, Kurt Russell is always a drawback, because just the way that he behaves in the movie is it's so funny, because his timing is perfect. And then, just when you think, oh, he's not going to help, he ends up being a big part of this. And where you think he's just the comic relief, he ends up being the hero, the one that actually kills Lopan and does all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone, because if you haven't seen it by now, then that's on you. That's your fault. It's almost 40 years old. So, yeah, my draws are the martial arts and the energy, the magic part of it. That's probably the first. The first reason I watched it was because of the martial arts and stuff.
Okay.
But then, but now, it's Kurt Russell and Wang and Kim Cattrall and the person who plays Egg Shen. I like the casting in it. And just like, I could pick this up. We talked about that with Soldier. I could pick this up at any point, and just watch to the end, because I just love this movie.
There's a lot of fun stuff with it too. But,
Fish goes, wait, there was a second Independence Day? Yes.
I think that's what Chris was chiming in. We don't talk about Resurgence.
We don't talk about Resurgence. Yeah.
No, it always made me think of whether they were trying to, if they just wanted a little, and we don't have to go way into it. And like you said, it's been that long. Maybe it's not a big deal to spoil some things, but at the end of it though, I kind of forgot about when his truck is driving away and there's something right at the end. I kind of wondered if they were going to ever had any thoughts of doing a sequel or
doing a sequel, right?
With the way
you had that, that thing.
Yep.
And he's back on the CB talking about himself in the third person and stuff.
Yep.
And then you see that right at the end. I love that ending.
Yeah.
But it made me think, hey, there's going to be a second part. There's going to be a sequel. And it never happened, because it tanked so bad in the theater.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen after that. But no, it definitely was. It was a fun one. I was glad you picked this one, because like I said, it was one that I've definitely seen multiple times before, but it's been quite a long time since I had seen it. But I got some good laughs out of it. Fish was saying Big Trouble would look fantastic in 4K. I hope we get it.
Me too. I'm waiting. But yeah, it's the 40th anniversary is in 2 years, so maybe.
Oh wow, yeah.
Maybe we'll get a 4K in a couple of years.
Never know. Or maybe before.
Criterion or Vinegar Syndrome or somebody will do it.
Oh man, I could see that'd be a crazy one for one of those big old Vinegar Syndrome boxes.
Yeah,
when they do the nice, pretty boxes that they've done with, like Navy SEALs and Showgirls and Roadhouse and all of those, that would be a crazy one.
Yeah, I've got Roadhouse, Sidekicks. Yeah, I just got Navy SEALs, which is brand new. That was one of my birthday haul, which is on the 4K Lowedown right now, is my birthday haul. I got 3 from Vinegar Syndrome and 4 from Shout Factory.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would I think that thing would sell like crazy if they put out a big 4K
and a big of that
box like that. Yeah.
I think it would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Put it in the suggestion box. Tell them
Yep.
to get it going for you.
There you go.
So, so you were saying this is kind of like number 2 in your all-time list?
My all-time list, this would be number 5.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Which still is yeah. If you're top 5,
Yeah.
that's
And then the big thing about my top 5 is rewatchability.
Oh,
It's
sure.
just how many times would I put that in and watch it, and that's why Serenity is moved up to 3
sure,
because
you rewatch it more.
that's one of those things I rewatch that all the time, and it's my wife's favorite, her all-time favorite. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, so we watch that all the time, and same type of thing. You get the comedy, you get action, you get sci-fi, you get and I guess that's the thing. I like multi-genre movies, ones that can cross boundaries a little bit. I
Sure.
do like the straight up action, but if you give me a little bit extra, like I don't generally like romance movies, but if you blow something up or go back in time or you're a ghost or something like that, then I'll watch a romance movie.
Give me a little something to work.
Give me a little something to keep me interested, throughout. I watched Sweeney Todd because they were killing along with the music.
Oh, sure.
But I still almost didn't make it through the movie.
But it helped.
But it helped.
That's too funny. I love that. Yeah, I kind of forgot about the cast too. You're talking about, and I agree with you completely. There were so many people I recognized in this. Some I could name off, some I couldn't name off, but it was they had a heck of a cast with it, and I kind of forgot about it until like I said, I had it sitting on my shelf, but I had not. I'd never actually watched this Blu-ray until just recently for this, and like I said, seen it before, but
yeah. Now I'll watch this thing a couple times a year, easy. But it's been a little while. I think it's probably been about a year since the last time I watched it. But I mean, I've probably seen it half a dozen times on TV.
Oh, sure.
And just had it on and watched it. But actually, like putting the disc in, intending to watch it, like maybe once this year. And then playing it right now during the show. Hey, Bonnie, what is up?
Bonnie in here saying, "Hey, Corey, Mama Blu-ray." Oh, thank you for dropping in. Always love to see you. I love how the chat moves. Like I'm gonna go click on somebody's chat, and then
it's already it's scrolling up because you're at the bottom. And
then I click somebody else's.
Like, dang it,
that's not the one I meant. But no, thanks for dropping in, Bonnie. I appreciate it very much. Good to see you. And I just did it again. Dave, have you watched it with the commentary?
Yes,
I watched. What were your thoughts on that?
It's interesting because I mean, if you're gonna do that, you don't watch. I mean, you're not watching to watch the movie. You're watching for the commentary, and then on there is a commentary track with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, and they're talking about the movie and then how they filmed it and stuff, and that's fun. But I've only done that a couple times.
I should do that. I have never done it. What do you think about it, Fish? Throw out if you've done it, Fish. I'd be curious
if you've done that. But yeah, I if there's a commentary track or something like that, I will always try to do it once.
Yeah.
But it's after I've seen the movie a few times. Absolutely. And then I'll do the commentary track to kind of see, or I'll watch the vignettes. I'll watch the making of, and I always do outtakes and deleted scenes. I will do that after the movie every time.
I also like watching old trailers if they have those in the special features. It's kind of funny because man, trailers were so different, even into the 90s. Like 80s, 90s trailers.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy watching them from then to now, but I don't know, for some reason I get a kick out of watching the trailers. I know this is like a little side tangent, but there used to be some cable channel and they would have a show that would run. It was before YouTube was a big thing, but I can't remember if it was a half hour, whatever, but it would just run movie trailers.
Just run trailers.
Yeah, and that was the show. And it was any movies that were kind of coming out in the next month or so, or a couple months. But I would sit there and watch that thing. But yeah, it was before the YouTube time, probably. But.
Yeah, I had back in the day, I had a cable channel that did that.
Yeah,
and it would run during prime time, like 3 hours, and it would just take, whatever trailers were out there, and it would just repeat them over and over, so you could watch what was coming out.
Yeah, I always like that. Fish was saying, I enjoyed the commentary. I try to watch the commentary. I love behind the scenes tidbits. Yeah, some of that's pretty cool.
some of that's pretty fun, especially when you watch a movie and then you realize, oh wow, that's how they did it.
Right.
And that's cool. Like in Independence Day, when they talk about Roland Emmerich, how he did the explosions,
Yeah.
just an amazing vignette, because that was the basis for all that stuff. All the other movies that he did is all with that same technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of fun.
No, I love that. Chris was saying Elvis was the first film Carpenter and Russell did together. Kurt's actual dad is in it as well, I think. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Bonnie was saying Sue and her love the behind the scenes. Yeah. It's fun to do that. I need to be better about digging into the special features on some of the discs that I have, because it's kind of like what you said too. Like I'm sure you got plenty of just movies you've never watched that are sitting on your shelf. Or I'm speaking for you, maybe not, but I have quite a few movies that I need to watch still.
No, there's some that I haven't watched. I mean,
but I'd love to get back and dig into some of the. I have once in a while, but there's a lot of special features and behind the scenes I know I have not seen on some of the movies I've seen before back there.
Yeah.
But no, I can understand why you like them, Bonnie. You and Sue, those are fun. Mm. It usually explains something that we didn't get. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially I like intros and stuff before they talk about the deleted scenes. I was like, hey, here was the thing about the deleted scene, and here's why we took it out. Mm-hmm. So those are really interesting. As hopefully a future filmmaker that I'm trying to be. We're working on our first documentary in August. So
cool.
For Spirits with Spirits, we're doing our first live investigation on August 1st, and then we're going to turn that into our regular show where we score it, and then we're putting it all into a documentary.
Well, cool. That's going to be a lot. That's got to be a whole process right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole big process, and I'm going to be doing that from start to finish. Now that I'm unemployed, I have time to do it. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Jeff's saying I'm pretty excited about that live stream.
Dude, I'm excited too. So yeah, August 1st, we're planning on starting at probably 8 to 8:30, depending on when dusk is. On August 1st, I'm thinking somewhere around 8 o'clock. That's Pacific time, so it'll be 11 o'clock Eastern. And we're investigating the Barn Theater in Porterville, California, which had a lot of reported hauntings and paranormal activity. So we're gonna go there and do that thing, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Oh, that's cool. Saying that's great, Dave. Miss K Man was saying I love behind the scenes stuff too, like the iconic scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when Indy shoots the swordsman. That was changed last minute before filming the scene.
Yeah,
for sure. We got Jeff Clark in here saying good luck on your documentary. Definitely a lot of work, but it's very rewarding to see the final product. I just finished a film and it's in festivals now. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that.
That's crazy. So like Jeff, you doing that, Dave, you working on this, documentary that, man, I don't know. I'm impressed with, people like the both of you, getting the courage up, but then the creativity to put something out there, like that. That's awesome.
And we've already got, cause we've got our deal with Scare Network TV.
Yeah.
So we're in our second season doing our podcast for them, and he's already said that he'll put the documentary up when I'm done. So I've already got a place to put it, but I'd like to try to sell it.
So sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, sure.
That one we'd get paid, I'd have to discuss how that would work. But with the podcast, we get paid for the ads that run during our show.
Okay.
So, and that's not a whole lot, but we're not doing it for money. We're doing it to be on that platform.
Sure.
Because it's a brand new horror stream platform. I think they're better than Shudder. But they're just getting started. So
yeah. Well, they got to start somewhere and build from there. So now that we're talking about like behind the scenes stuff and like, some of those extra features, I know you're thinking of the main documentary you want to make, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that'd be something you can find little tidbits, things of you could do your making of the documentary, you know, or, you know,
Mm.
some of your behind the scene things, or things that maybe didn't make the cut, or things that you changed, or, you know, have some supplemental material along with it too.
Yeah.
There's probably all kinds of ways you could go with that to
Yeah, we
add
could
some
do that. I
more
mean,
content. And
we're gonna record probably 8 hours of
yeah,
stuff, and then I gotta try to work out the best of that and put it into an hour and a half documentary. So, so yeah, there's going to be stuff that's going to hit the cutting room floor, and those will, you know, we'll probably put on the YouTube channel
yeah,
or do something like that.
yeah, get some use out of
Um,
it. Yeah. You put
yeah,
all that work into it, and, yeah, get some use out of it. But yeah, maybe
yeah,
you could do like, there's the Snyder cut. You could have like the David cut. You could have your
the
4 hour
Dave
version
the
that you
David
put
cut
out.
have the lowdown cut, the
The
lowdown cut,
lowdown cut. There, I like that.
the lowdown cut of the barn theater. That'd be
There's
funny.
there
Uh,
hour and a half, and then there's the 4 hour lowdown cut.
there's the 4 hour lowdown cut
Yep.
with all that stuff.
I love that.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
St.
good, Bonnie.
Arnold, love
I'm
it.
glad.
Miss Kate.
So yeah, if you guys want to check out our show, it's at Spirits with Spirits
Yeah.
on YouTube, and then we're also on any of those other ones. And
I don't
so
think I
yeah,
have
check
that.
it out.
I don't think I have that in the description, but when, I will get that added to it. I will get that added, to put that on the. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but,
No, it's fine.
I know I have the 4K lowdown and the Faces for Radio, but
Yeah.
I think I completely blanked off that one. I'll get that added to the description of the video here. But yeah, you got too much stuff going on, man. I couldn't keep it all straight. That's awesome.
Hardest working man in live stream.
Well, you do keep busy with it. It seems like, right? I mean,
Yeah. No,
because
I
you
stay
had
busy.
some stretches where you were doing a lot of live streams during a week, you know, a 7-day period.
Yeah.
What are you at now for your live streams? You know, what do you got going on for like nights of the week? How many days a week you're streaming?
Well, we do Bailey Wednesday night is live stream.
Yep.
And then we have movie news at 5, which was recorded and is now turning live.
Okay.
That we'll be doing immediately following By the Number. So 2 shows on Wednesday night. And then and Jeff subscribed. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Oh, there you go.
So, but yeah, that's basically what we do live. Is we used to be Wednesday and Friday, but now I know this week we're doing movie news at 5 on Wednesday, but we're trying to change that to a live stream either Friday or Saturday night.
Okay.
So, and that's where we just talk about movie news, obituaries, new releases coming out, things like that. And that's usually about a half an hour. And then,
man,
you know,
that's got to keep.
we
you
still
pretty
have
busy.
we have the high five, but that's not set. That's not set in stone. Where we bring a guest on and we have the guest pick 5 movies
Yeah.
that we review and then we score them, and we have the guests score them live on the show. We haven't done that in a little while. February, I think, was our last one, and that was my favorite romance movies.
Yeah.
So I was the
that.
guest at that
Yep.
point, and Rich was the host.
And I think there was one of the two of you that likes those types of movies more than the other person, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why when he said day 1 was okay, I'm like, then I'm gonna like it.
That's funny. That's funny. You got like the Odd Couple thing going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we did horror movies. The first year that we were together, that October, we were like, okay, we'll do top 10s, because we were doing top 10s at that point.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, we'll do top 10s. You pick 5 horror movies, and I'll pick 5 horror movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he picked stuff that I'm like, that's not a horror movie, bro. that's not a horror movie. Pick something else, you know. So finally I was like, okay, that's fine. But we did each subcategory. We did paranormal, slasher, found footage, gore, and monster were the different subgenres that we did. But we didn't do found footage until later. We focused on monster, gore, slasher, and paranormal. Okay. And it was our gore week. And I was like, okay, let's see how much Rich can take. So I did different levels of gore.
Yeah.
because he would give me a gory movie, and I was like, that's not a gory movie. that's that's
It
not
was
very gory. Um, so I went like, okay, level 1, level 2, level 4, level 5, level 6, and I think of like extremes with gore, because you can go from The Hills Have Eyes to a Serbian film, and that's like a broad spectrum of like
a world of difference.
either like really bloody or like holy crap, and that's a Serbian film. So
Yeah.
um so I gave him one movie called Excision, and that was my level 6, and Rich could not watch it. He just
Yeah.
nope. He's still mad at me about that. So,
It,
um
it's like your version of Hot Ones. Have you ever seen that talk show where they do the hot wings and so it's like your version of Hot Ones, but it's like your gore
but it's like
fest.
horror. Let's see what he can handle. Let's see what you can take.
Yep. How much
Uh,
sweating can you do watching these movies before you have to throw in the towel?
Yeah.
We got Larry in here saying hi, the horror
Hey,
cat
Larry.
dad. Thanks for dropping him in. Saying hi to
Another
Larry.
horror movie fan.
Oh, absolutely. He's got some great stuff out there. Sorry, I was just jumping here real quick so I don't get really far behind, but just saying hi to each
Yeah,
other.
you're pretty close this time.
I know. That's where I'm
I've
like,
seen you like a
wanna give it
half
up.
an hour off.
Well, okay, but I've been that way before. But sometimes, like when I had the bigger panels, I couldn't help it because I wanted to get through everybody first before like going back down through the. And so, yeah, I know I was a good half hour behind on things, but people hung in there. They were troopers. They were really
It's
awesome
good. It's good to have a co-host, because the co-host can field the stuff, and then you can go in and start flipping through the chat.
Yep.
And that's what Rich and I do. Rich can talk. I flip through the chat. Thank
got
you,
Mama,
Bonnie. Appreciate
Bonnie,
that.
Mama Blue Rave subbed up.
I'm
awesome.
guessing that's for you.
One of
should
us.
already be
One of
subbing
us.
to Faces for Radio.
Whoever it was, thank you.
Whoever it was.
Or maybe for 4K Lowdown.
That was for Spirits with Spirits. It looks like I've got
Spirits with Spirits. There you go.
and I've got two new ones on the 4K Lowdown, so it might be that too.
There you go. I'll get the Spirits first. That was my bad.
It's not a movie thing, so yeah, it's a totally different genre. I had another channel going too for a role-playing game that I invented. It's a superhero based role-playing game.
Okay.
And called Superior Wars, and I had a channel on that, but I let that drop. I'm not doing that anymore. But
Jeff was just throwing in again. He likes the chemistry between
Thanks,
you and
Jeff.
Rich. It's fun from the audience perspective. For sure. Oh, here you go on your ranking. Fish just watched Terrifier first time today. Where would you rank that on your?
As far as gore level, I would put that either a 2 or a 3.
Terrifier? Okay.
Yeah. The first one.
What
the
are
second
you going
one,
up to? What are you going up to? What's your high?
My high is 7. I don't go 1 through 10. I have 1 through 7. 8 if you live in a trailer park, but we're just gonna stick with 7. But yeah, so 7, that would be a Serbian film. There's a few movies on my list where those I won't watch.
Yeah.
Because those are just gore for being gore.
Yeah.
But there's one that's a 4, and I Saw the Devil. It's a Korean film.
I have,
and it's fantastic movie.
But it's
I agree with
gore.
You. Yeah, it's gory. It's like body parts, and
it was a lot gorier than I thought it was going to be. I did buy that on recommendation, but it's very good. But
Larry has a great one.
The Korean horror movies go for it.
Korean horror movies are great. I love the foreign horror films.
Mm-hmm.
Larry's talking about the movie Inside, and that's a French film, and that is fantastic. I'd put that level 4 or level 5.
Ooh, okay.
On the gore.
That is in the box that's sitting over there that I got a DVD.
It is. That's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, because
I might have to think about that if you're putting that up at a.
That's it, and it's high. It's not gore like just blood spraying and that kind of stuff to where it's fake. It feels real.
Yeah, I'll have to see about that one.
And it's a tough watch, but yeah, it's fantastic. Martyrs is another one that are like really good.
I've heard with that one too.
Like again, the French one. Don't watch the remake. The original French one is fantastic. And again, like that might be a 5, maybe even a 6.
Yeah, I've heard those thrown out in the same categories as, and maybe not because I haven't seen them, but Frontiers and High
Lo-
Tension and High
Love, yeah,
Tension.
both. All yeah, really good. Um, Frontiers, I'd probably go maybe a 3 as far as the gore level goes.
Oh, okay.
But it's fantastic. It's like it's better than the original Hostel, which Hostel is one that I really
Yeah.
like, the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Frontiers is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. I love horror movies, but I'm getting back into them. But there's some of those I'm kind of tiptoeing my way towards some, and then I get warned away from some others where I'm like, maybe I'll hold off. But Prince was seeing Brightburn and Train to Busan.
I like both of those.
Yeah.
I bought the Steel Book of Train to Busan.
That's a great
and
one.
Brightburn is amazing. That was I had thought of that a long time ago. What if Superman grew up wrong?
Yeah. If he turned bad as a kid.
If he turned bad as a kid, if he was a sociopath.
Yeah.
And then that movie just kind of brought that to life. So
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. I like that a lot.
Train to Busan that's a great one.
One of my favorite zombie movies.
I never thought in a zombie movie I'd get tearing up at a point,
Yeah.
There's
it's got good acting and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, Peninsula, the second one, didn't live up to
I
that.
never saw that one. No,
You're not missing a whole lot. A lot more like kooky CGI crap going on, but yeah, Train to Busan is really good.
Bacon saying I'm gonna need to check out some of these movies. Bring on the gore.
I got
Except
you.
there's a few of them that even the people who love gore tell me like, Corey, no,
don't
stay away.
Well, this is where you're like, yeah, I don't think.
And if I hear them say that to me, I'm like, okay, nope,
okay,
I'm not even gonna pretend.
Yep.
Yeah,
but yeah. There's one along those lines. It's the name of the movie is called Vile.
I never heard
and
oh, wait a minute. I think I've been told about that one. I haven't seen it.
It's vicious. But it's good, but it's like a bunch of people in the house, they don't know each other, and in order to get free, they have to like cause pain to another person. And then you have to do more and more, like cutting limbs off and things like that. So it gets really rough really quick, but it ramps up. So it starts out with like little stuff, like when stab you a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting worse and worse.
Escalates.
As it escalates as the movie goes, and it makes it like, it's kind of like, that old saying where if you put a frog in a pot that starts out cold and you warm it up, you won't know that you're boiling to death. It's not true, by the way. It was myth busted.
The same.
But the saying is, if you drop them into a hot pot, they'll pop out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that, to where you don't know how bad it's gonna get until it gets that bad.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know whether I should turn it off or not, because I got a half an hour left, and should I stick it out because it's gonna get worse?
Because you're cringing a little bit.
Yeah, you're cringing a little bit. So
Larry was saying Inside is rough but awesome, and I've heard that too. But like I said, I got this big old box of. Most of them are DVDs, which I was like, I don't care. Like if they're movies I don't have, I don't care if it's on DVD. But Gizmo is super awesome. Got some stuff. It just came in today, and I was still digging through some of the things, but that was one I didn't know what was going to be in there. But yeah, Inside is a DVD in there. But I was like, ooh, I've heard of that one.
Yep.
So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to work my way up to it. And then Larry's saying, yeah, don't touch the US remake.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yep. Dell saying Inside is nuts, blood everywhere, and super tough to watch. Yeah. Maybe that might not be the first one I dive into. Then that's what I was figuring. I've heard that.
Yeah, work yourself up to that.
Or we'll see if I get the. We'll see if I get there.
That's gonna get. I'm gonna start you with a movie called Audition.
I've heard of that
Japanese film.
Yes, I have heard of that.
Another vicious, gory movie, but there's an element in there. There's an element in Inside that even made me cringe.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil that for you because you're gonna know it when you see it.
Yeah.
But
isn't there Audition?
But Audition is really good and really well acted. And then on top of that, it's gory and freaky. So
is Audition the one that has some scene with a needle? Yeah. Okay. No, we don't have to get into it, but I've heard. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm thinking of the right one, but
you're thinking of the right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Moving right along. Let's
High
go to
Tension
the
is another favorite of mine.
Yeah. High
Uh,
Tension's great. Midnight Meat
Midnight.
Train.
I just watched that within the last. Oh, my days all blur together, but it's been in the last 4 months. But I did buy that. It was on a pretty good sale, and a lot of people were recommending it. So like Mika was in here earlier. I think that was one of them. They threw out on a stream one time, and I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. But that was a little more than I thought it was going to be, though. Too. Not saying it was like craziest horror movie ever, but it went a little further than I thought it was going to. But Larry's saying bummed Brightburn 2 got shelved. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got Brightburn. I gotta watch it. But that was one that I don't know why I have never watched it yet, because I really like Superman and I like that idea. Like you said, it's kind of like a bizarro, like
Yeah.
Superman, like looking at the, what if it went wrong?
Yeah.
But you could totally see that being, yeah, it's a great one, Mom.
There's a
You
great
totally see it
eyeball scene in
happening.
that. If just gives you a
Oh,
nice
I know.
little level 3 gore. You get a little eyeball scene, and it's fantastic.
Yep. But you could totally, that's such a, I don't know, it just seems like a realistic story, because how easy is it for a kid to get teased or like made fun of and go the other way than what Superman and most of the stories goes. But I'm still surprised they could make that movie, because it's pretty much without saying it, it's pretty much a evil Superman story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
without coming right out and saying it. Prince was saying Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1931 was so good. In my bag. That's always I always like that story. I don't think I've ever actually seen the film, but I read the book when I was younger.
Yeah. The
That's
book
always
is
an
amazing.
interesting story.
Yeah.
Dell was saying, and sorry, I know I'm running through the chat again, but are you still doing good, hanging in with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
I
go.
didn't want to be like,
I'm
okay,
2 hours
wrap it
behind
up.
you. It's barely 8 o'clock for me.
Okay.
So you're
I
gonna
didn't want
get
you to
tired
be
before
like,
me.
be quiet, Corey.
I'd be like,
yeah, right. Hey, I've been about there before.
No, that might happen, but
I just wanted to make
I-
sure I wasn't talking away too much. But Dell was saying Train to Busan is an all-time favorite zombie flick. It's a great one.
I don't know if I'd put that in my top 5. It's not my favorite. But it's definitely up there. It's a favorite.
So where that ranks for me, that was the first movie that I finally made the switch over to subtitles, listening in the original language and reading the English subtitles. That was the first time. It wasn't very far into the movie, and I'm like, it's just not right. Something's off with the English dubbed. And I stopped it, started it all over again, and flipped it. So it was Korean spoken language and English subtitles, and watched the rest of it. And after that, now I'm good with it. But I don't know if it was like that for you, but I was for whatever reason, I resisted like switching over to that. I don't know why. But I like it now. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, no, I prefer it, but I'm still like I'll do both. So if I have the time, I watch it dubbed first, so I can watch the movie.
Yep.
And then watch it
that.
subtitled, so I can get the acting and the and the reading, so I don't have to worry about the picture so much, especially if there's a lot of dialogue.
Yes. I can see that.
I'm like that, but I'll still watch both, but I prefer, for Faces for Radio, I prefer the subtitle. Gotcha. Because that's how I'm scoring it on. That's how I'm looking at the acting and things like that.
No, gotcha. I can see that though, when there's the dialogues flying fast. I'll admit I'm not the fastest reader in the world. So there's sometimes in some of those where I've had to back up the movie and like kind of catch back up with what was all being thrown around there. But Larry was saying, yeah, I was surprised how much I liked Busan. Yeah, no, I really liked it.
I was surprised too. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to check this out. And I'm like, dude, that was fun.
Yeah, it was
really I enjoyed
good.
that.
You'd have to brace yourself for Inside. Excellent film, but I was not okay after watching it. Okay. Yep. I'll hold off on that one for a little bit.
Yeah. I definitely think you should watch it, but all the stars have to be aligned for that. Just know what you're going to get coming in. Have your tissues and your vomit bucket ready just in case.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, that was
something to look forward to there.
But yeah, I was like, that was the most realistic horror movie that I've seen in a long time. Just like I could see it actually happening. And that's what scared me the most about it.
And didn't that just get a nice brand new pretty release for it too, not too long ago. I can't
Oh,
remember if that was
maybe.
a second
I think,
site or
yeah, I think there was a maybe like last year or something. I think there
okay.
was a second site.
Yeah.
One
Oh
of
well,
those.
I'll stick with that DVD. We'll see if I
Yeah,
get to it
just
or not.
Prince. Yeah, just
I wouldn't take the risk
if you're like,
if you're on the edge
Brightburn's
there.
all I can take. If that was gory enough for you, then yeah,
Which
don't
is
do it.
okay. Which is
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, they make different movies for different folks, and I might be
Yeah.
there too. I
Sadness. So the sadness is
another
another one.
super crazy and gory.
Um,
I've
you
heard of
know,
it, but I've not seen that
there's
one either.
there's movies like there's one called Grim Love, and I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've never heard of that one.
It's not necessarily gory, but it's about cannibalism, and it kind of romances cannibalism. And it's a tough watch because of that. It's disturbing,
Yeah.
but not necessarily gory. And that's one of those where I was like, wow, that was good, but I don't think I could watch that again because that hit a note. That we call that the Army Hammer effect, where you hit that note that has to do with cannibalism.
Yeah.
I'll let you infer that, but
I got you.
but yeah, it's it was, and Carrie Russell, I think, stars in it. It's
really?
called Grim Love. Yeah, it was just, I used to collect the After Dark Horror Fest movies because they released like 8 of those a year, and I collected those for a few years, and that was in one of those. And really weird. Yes, there are needles.
Yes, there are needles. That's somebody.
I'm guessing there's a phobia. I'm guessing there's a phobia I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Where you don't like needles.
Talking about audition, because I think somebody made that comment, like, "Oh, there's a scene," and they kind of threw that out. And then when I saw, oh yeah, so Larry's there saying too that Second Sight released it. I have it in my cart to pick up because I think if I'm thinking of the right one, she's holding a needle in the picture, I think, or something too. So
yeah, and one of the covers she's holding a needle, and the other one, because I have the Arrow release of that.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And the reverse cover has her like drawing the string. She used to like choke him and stuff. It was cool.
Bell's in audition is awesome, but slow burn, so you might be okay because it works up to the nuttiness.
Exactly. Actually, it's one of those that it ramps up. It's the cold pot in the beginning, and then it ramps up.
And then you're like, how did I?
And then you're stuck.
Point?
You're and then you're done. You're stuck into it now. You got to finish it.
This far? How did we get this far?
How did I do this? Yeah.
Hey Steve, what's going
Steve?
on? Thanks for jumping in, man. Saying hey everybody. Saying hi to Steve.
Love it.
Dell, good to see you. Yeah, it's fun of seeing all you guys out here doing that. But well, man, you're like digging into the horror movies quite a bit. I mean, I knew you liked them, but I'm not saying it's like, is that one of your upper genres that you like going into, or you you dig into it quite a bit, but not necessarily
that's probably my favorite genre. It's definitely the one I have the most movies of. In that genre. That's my biggest collection.
I didn't know that. I knew you liked them, but I guess I didn't know that would be like your top. Is that always been the case, or did you find a time where you really, well, you were saying 6 years old, you're seeing Exorcist, right? And Jaws and stuff. So ever since then, you're just like, this is my stuff. And you like you said, was it an uncle or somebody that thought they were going to scare you, and you were like, no, this is awesome.
No, my stepdad, I was like, man,
or stepdad, sorry,
that was great. But yeah, it was.
So you just ever since then, man, that's crazy. Like from 6 years old. Because I could see Exorcist. Well, like you said, maybe you didn't quite fully understand all, but especially Jaws, because that's pretty easy to grasp. Not seeing something and then being attacked, like that's a fear I think anybody could probably have and relate to at any age. And well, cool. No, so wow, so horror's right up there top with you. Are there any that fall into your top 5 when you were talking about those?
Oh yeah.
It's okay that they fall outside of it because you can still really love them, but they're just not your top.
There's a couple of genres that fall outside of my top 5. Musicals and drama. I'm not much for dramas. I do like some of them, particularly when there's history involved. When it's based on a true story, I enjoy those. But as a general rule, I'm not much for drama or romance. I like comedy, but I have to say, like, if it's either horror, I like horror and thriller are probably in my top, and then action, sci-fi, fantasy. Those are probably my top five.
Oh, that's a good mix. That's a nice wide range. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's nice. You can kind of figure out what you're in the mood for and hit some of those. But
Yeah, basically,
I
I mean,
did.
if you look at my top five,
Mm-hmm.
it's two sci-fi movies, two fantasy movies, and an action movie. So
So, what would you say is one of your higher? If you had to throw a couple horror movies out that are way up on your, you don't have to like give a ranking, like a number, but if you had a couple that you would really throw out to be like, these are some of my tops that I really love for
yeah,
horror.
well, of course, The Exorcist is my
Okay,
top.
so right up there. Okay.
So that's my favorite horror movie of all time. I haven't had anything beat it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we don't talk about the sequel, but
What do you think of the third one?
Exorcist 3 is good.
Yeah.
I do. I bought the 4K of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good watch. I enjoy that one a lot. I wouldn't put that in my top though. I would
Okay.
have to say, like some that are popping into my head, like The Descent.
Oh, okay.
I really like The Descent.
Yeah.
I totally enjoy that. I love Wolf Creek.
Oh yeah, I have that. I still need to watch it. I have.
That's
I have
another
the
one that's
first and the
kind of like
second.
kind of goes into the gore area because
Okay.
of how creepy it is, but it's
Yeah.
not that gory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Wolf Creek. There's a Norwegian slasher called Cold Prey. That they did like 3 or 4 of them, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best slashers I've ever seen. Not Coldplay, that's a band that's also kind of horrific, but Cold Prey, horrific in a different way. But just kind of like a basic slasher movie. But if you watch it, and basically these guys they're skiing, and they're skiing in the back mountains, and one guy accidentally breaks his leg as they're skiing. So they need to find a place to get shelter, and they find this abandoned hotel. And they go in there for shelter, and there's a dude who stalks them in there and starts killing them off one by one. Standard slasher movie stuff. And the dude uses a pickaxe as his weapon.
Okay.
But the acting in there, if you watch it in the original Norwegian with the subtitles,
yeah,
the acting is phenomenal. And that's why it's one of my favorites, because it's it's almost like they didn't know that this guy was there, and they were genuinely scared.
Yeah. Well, I wrote it down. I have not heard of it. I don't think I've heard of that one. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, I have. I think I have the first 3. I know I have the first 2. But they did a couple of sequels like following after that and stuff that were still pretty good. I also like the sequel to The Descent. The Descent 2 was really good.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, that was really good. That was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
And then we talked about like Frontiers. That's awesome. There's a movie called Train with Thora Birch, and that's another one that's really good. It's like Hostel, only they're on a train.
Okay.
And they're getting chopped up on the train. Found footage movies I absolutely love. My favorite found footage movie in the horror genre is a movie called Undocumented, but that is going to be a tough watch.
Oh, okay.
So before you write that down, Corey,
I'm writing it down with a little.
Write it down and put an asterisk by it,
asterisk and a question mark,
and a question mark,
asterisk question mark, asterisk question mark. Oh no, those are good. That's why I love doing these too. Like, you get so many recommendations for.
But yeah,
ones.
and again, like I'm all over the board with them. Like I love the vampire movies. My favorite vampire movie of all time is Fright Night, the original.
Okay, yeah, that's a fun one.
I love that one. I love Near Dark. I love Lost Boys, but Fright Night's my favorite. Of course, werewolf movies. American Werewolf in London sets the stage for that. But there are werewolf movies. I love Silver Bullet. There's a movie it's not too old, but it's not recent either. It's called Late Phases. And basically the protagonist in here is blind, but he can smell a person that is a werewolf, even though they're in human form. So he can kind of tell what's going on. And he's a former soldier and stuff, so he fights him. Speaking of which, Dog Soldiers is really good.
That's a good one.
That's
good
classic. I recently bought the 4K of that, and I really enjoyed watching that.
I got the 4K of that too. That's a good one.
There's another one called Where. It's WER, and it's kind of almost like a found footage type of thing, where this guy is slowly transforming, into a werewolf, and it's really good. It was really surprising. But yeah, you can. Favorite zombie movie is 28 Days Later.
That was good.
Although some people would disagree
that
it's a zombie movie.
That's good.
But I because infected versus
infection.
To
me, it's similar.
And then number 2 would be there's a 4-movie franchise called Record. It's REC, and they're Spanish films. If you've seen the first Quarantine movie, that's based on the first Record movie. But they did a 4-part series, and the second one, Record 2, is my favorite because it almost turns the zombie transformation into demonic possession.
Oh, okay.
And it was really interesting how they did it. So Record 2 is definitely on my list.
Huh. Oh, that's cool.
About everything. I'm all over the board. You give me a movie to watch, I'll watch it, and if I don't like it, I'll let you know. But but otherwise, I don't try to stick to one thing. I know to stay away from musicals, and I know I know to kind of stay away from romance movies because those aren't my bag as a general rule. But
and then you got Fish jumping in here saying no love for musicals and Coldplay. I feel attacked tonight.
Coldplay's fine. It's not my favorite, but Coldplay's fine. There are some songs I like. I was just, not Coldplay, but Cold Pray. That was it was supposed to be a dad joke, Fish.
Yeah.
So you're not being attacked, honest. What's something else that you like? I can mention that. And
there you go. I think this was back with the audition one, but Larry was saying it's literally drawing you in till the last 10 to 15 minutes of the film and just dials it up to 10 real quick.
Yeah. I don't know if that's inside or
maybe it's inside.
Audition.
Sorry.
It could be audition or inside.
They
both do that.
They do that. Okay.
They both do. That's the fantastic part about the foreign horror films.
Yeah.
Is they can do that. It just doesn't seem right when they do the American remake. And it's trying to ramp up, but I'm not, a lot of times, like in the Inside remake and stuff like that, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Or when they remake the Japanese ones, like they did The Ring, which I did like the American remake, but the original is so good.
Yeah, it seems like they do that with a lot of them because I was just talking to somebody not too long ago about Let the Right One In and Let Me In. Have you ever seen either of those?
I own both of those.
So same deal where they're like only a couple years apart, but it's like it was international film, and then the U.S. was like, "Oh, that's a good idea.
I want to do that."
And we couldn't come up with it on our own, so we'll just redo the exact thing and just kind of change a couple little things.
Change the title and be good. Yeah, we'll get Chloe Grace Moretz to do it, and but I liked them both.
Yeah,
but the original is so much better.
I agree. No, I agree. But I had fun with both of them. But that was another one we were talking about Mika earlier. I think Mika and Kira, they threw that out on a stream one time too. And I'm like, I never heard those, but I did watch them in that order because I think most people were leaning towards the original, being their favorite out of the two. But, with Dell's jumping into saying Fright Night is awesome. Yeah, I agree. That's fun.
I love Fright Night.
It's a fun one. That goes along with like Lost Boys and some of those where it's just it's fun.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London is my all-time favorite werewolf movie.
I think it should be for everybody, but I know there's some of those guys that like The Howling or maybe Silver Bullet's their favorite or something like that. And I like all that stuff, but American Werewolf in London could just kind of set the bar for me.
That was crazy.
I have that one.
Yep. I don't have it, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
Thirst.
I have that on DVD. I had a period where I was collecting a lot of Korean horror movies.
Yeah.
And dude, they're so good. I have one called The Piper. It's a play on the Pied Piper where the guy comes in and gets all the rats out of town. But in the movie, they basically refused to pay him. So he brought all the rats back.
Oh, sure.
and
Go
then
after them.
and then it gets crazy. Yeah. So, but it's fun. Yes, I own that.
I own it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I liked it. See, that's a
I heard
good
it's
found
pretty
footage
good.
movie.
I've heard it's pretty
It's good. Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Yep, that was another recommendation I got, but that unfortunately, there's only so many hours in the day, and you're watching other things, and like even like leading up to this, not that I mind doing it, but it was like, well, I wanted to rewatch this, again. So I mean, that took away a night where I'd be watching something else, which is fine, but it's just then some of your unwatched pile.
Yeah,
Just
they
waits
kind
around a
of
little
the
longer.
unwatched file kind of backs up that way.
Yep,
So
yep,
yeah,
absolutely. Prince was helping fish out there a
yeah.
little bit. So, yeah,
No,
got some
I
love for him.
like Coldplay. They're fine, but
Dell was saying both Let the Right One In and Let Me In are excellent. Yeah, I agree. They both are good. They're just a little different how they do some of the things in there
yeah,
without going into too much, but definitely the same story, but they adjust some things, let's just say.
yeah,
In that. But yeah, definitely. I made sure to watch because I think Let the Right One In, that's the original, correct?
yes,
I think, yeah.
yes.
I made sure to watch that one first. Prince was saying time check time. It's 11:30 a.m. in the Philippines.
Oh, nice, Prince. Kamusta ka? I know a little bit of Tagalog, so a very little bit because my wife's Filipino. So,
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's 8:30 p.m. here, so that makes sense.
Yeah, 10:30 for me. So p.m. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I always.
Oh,
here
nice.
you go.
Yep, he's saying he's good.
Cool. Well, you know more than I do, man. I'll go with it.
Yep.
So, okay, so we got through. No, that's awesome. I love doing these because I knew you liked horror movies and I've heard you talk about them before, but I didn't realize it was ranked so high for you when you're reviewing. So that's kind of fun when you get to dig some of these things out. But I'm kind of curious. So leading up, going back to, you were talking about the documentary that you're looking at doing the live stream and then digging into that. Man, like what? So what do you, I mean, how do you start gathering that up, figuring out what you're going to do, like planning that out? I mean, are you storyboarding some things? I mean, I know there's some things that you can't plan for.
Some things that I'll have to spontaneously play.
Yeah.
Play off of at the end. But no, I outlined everything because I had to make a presentation to the board of directors for the theater in order to get approved. So I had to have a plan of exactly how I was going to do it, how much time I was going to need, how many people were coming, what equipment we were going to use, things like that. So I had to map all that out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as getting it together, that's going to be, I've never done that before. So
learning
I'm going to take the cameras are going to have SD cards, and then we're going to have the live stream going. And I'm going to have that saved in StreamYard so that I can take that, and then all the stuff, all the video, all the audio recordings that we get, all that stuff's going to go right down into my laptop. And then I'm going to start looking at everything one by one. And then, I was looking at recording B-roll, which is something that you do when filming a documentary. And I think Jack, if he's still on here, he can attest to that, where you basically just record a bunch of random crap.
Yeah.
Like the outside of the building, walking through, doing stuff, in order to put that in there in filler spots where you're just talking.
Yeah.
And I've got to think about that. So we're going there like at 5 p.m. on August 1st, and then we're just going to film B-roll, just walking around, filming all kinds of crap. And then, and then we're going on a tour and we're going to film that. And then we're going to talk about the hot spots and then just set up our equipment and go on live. And then all that. And then we're also going to do a live show where we score the place like we do for our normal podcast. Which is going to happen later on in that week because John will still be here. So we're going to try to do that at the same time before he leaves back for Colorado.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take all that and smash it together like 52 pickup and make a documentary out of it.
I could see that being, man, yeah, and that's going to be a whole nother task too, probably like the whole editing process and how you put all that together. But I'm excited for you. That's such an
Eh,
interesting thing to take on.
yeah. So yeah, my first attempt. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to take the stuff that we already know how to do, which is the StreamYard and doing a live stream and then doing the review.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I'm just going to throw whatever we caught on the cameras and do some like interviews with the two of us and where you talk like second person
Yeah.
and add that to it and then see if I can put it together and make a documentary out of it. So
Oh,
that's where I'm going to start doing storyboards and mapping stuff out
oh,
as
sure.
to
I
where
can
I'm
see.
going to put it.
You kind of have to yeah, I can see that. Like where you just got to have a little bit of a game plan going into it, but knowing that some things will develop as you go, especially in that type of, what you're documenting. Like you can't
Yeah.
plan everything out probably, but
I can't map everything out. So yeah, we're going to have to play it by ear with some of it, improvise a little bit, but
Mhm. That's
like
pretty
I'm
exciting.
trying to work off of every contingency. What if the live stream doesn't go?
Oh,
What are we
sure.
going to do?
Sure.
I know they've got Wi-Fi there. We're gonna make that assessment, but what if their Wi-Fi strength is not, their bandwidth is low and we can't really go live. So then I'm just gonna have to record it on StreamYard and do it that way. But then, after that, the director's cut or the stuff that hits the cutting room floor that we want to use, we'll probably go on our YouTube channel, or we also have a Patreon now, to where maybe we'll put it on Patreon. So some of our bloopers and stuff will be on Patreon.
That's cool. No, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited for you guys.
It,
That's a cool thing. I don't know.
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know how else to
huge.
say
I
it,
would
but
love for you to be on the live stream. At least in the chat, just kind of say hey.
yeah.
But it's gonna be me, my buddy John, and then my son Eric, my oldest, is gonna join us, so he can actually do a lot more of the camera work while we're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And because we're old, so stairs are a problem. He can go up and down the stairs and stuff.
Yep. Yep. No,
So, and I'm going to be directing on the fly. So I'm going to, have him, stand in certain places and film us and things like that. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
no, that's cool. No, I'm excited. Like I said, I know I keep on saying that, but that's a cool thing to be looking forward to and get ready for and to go through that. But Steve, jumping back, was saying American Werewolf in London was his first horror flick in the drive-in, and he was only 6 for that one. It left
Oh,
a great
Steve, I'm older than you.
left a great impression on me, and it's also my favorite wolf flick next to The Howling, which is
See?
also a good one. That's good.
Howling is good.
Yeah.
People a lot of times do that, but yeah, it was 1981, so I was 11 when American Werewolf in London came out.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good
My
one.
wife is Filipina. She's we are celebrating our 30th anniversary this Sunday.
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. My wife and I, August will be 24 years.
Nice.
So a little behind you, but yeah.
Still there.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Here you go. Yep. I always get hungry in live streams. People start talking about food, but
Food
he's
porn.
asking, what's that?
Food porn.
Yep.
Food
Yep.
porn.
Yep. But he's asking your favorite Filipino food, or is it ulam?
Ulam. Yeah. My favorite Filipino food is pork adobo. And it's fantastic. That's probably my favorite thing. I've got to love lumpia because that's like the Filipino egg roll.
Okay.
And those are also really good. Pancit is great. That's like a noodle dish, kind of like chow mein. But no, my favorite is pork adobo and rice. Man, all day, every day.
There you go. Adobo for life.
I love chicken adobo too. It's basically the same thing, but I really love pork adobo. That's like my favorite.
Oh, I have to try that out sometime. I'm probably going to pronounce that incorrectly. I don't mean to, but is it? But most people
I think it's boracay. I think it's boracay or boracay. It's boracay, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm
sure it's a great beach, but no.
Love him.
Steve,
Steve
totally.
American Werewolf in London. Subscribe.
Prince, thank you, brother.
That's awesome. You won't regret it. I already read that one.
Or
Corey
Salamat is thank you. in Tagalog.
Okay.
So sisig is good, bro. I like sisig. Um, and it's kind of a cold pork dish, or the
Okay.
one that I had was cold. Um, at least that's where my wife's family does it. It's kind of a cold dish, but man, it's so good.
So you're welcome. Yeah, I'll have
Yep.
to find a
Yeah.
restaurant that
So
I could try
salamat,
some of these out.
salamat po is the formal, but salamat is thank you.
Okay.
So
Very
yeah,
good.
I'm teaching you all this Tagalog. You can travel. You can go out,
Well, I tell you what, I'll
do things.
probably need a couple more lessons from you for it to stick because I'm slow. I'm
Yeah.
slow. But so, what do you got coming up? I know we were talking. I know coming up we were talking about the documentary, but what other what live streams you got coming up? Anything you want to throw out that's coming up just here shortly for you? That
Well, like I said, Wednesday is going to be our I think it's episode 73 of By the Numbers.
73. That's man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're hoping to hit 100 at the end of this year, and it'll be our 100th episode. So it'll be really
You
good.
should be on track for that, right?
I think we're on track. Our last episode of the year should be 100.
Okay.
So we're gonna do Secrets of the Neanderthals on Netflix. One More Shot on Netflix. The American Society of Magical Negroes on Peacock. Movie Pass Movie Crush on Max, and A Family Affair on Netflix. So those are the movies that we're going to do on Wednesday. Okay. And then, coming up, we're going to look at Axel F. We're going to look at bike riders. And, like I said, we're on the 17th or 18th. We're going to do, I think it's going to be episode 75. And that is going to be all theatrical releases. Quiet Place Day One, all that stuff. And our special guest will be Nate from Netflix Review. So if anybody wants to get on that, you're welcome to join, and we can have multiple people on that show. That'd be awesome.
He's a really good guest to have on here. I mean, I know they have their channel.
Nate's got great chemistry with us, and
but he does.
We love having Nate and Alex. Nate and Alex from Geeks and Flicks. They join us for our award show, which we do at the beginning of the year. That we are now calling the Geeks with Faces for Radio Awards, or the GFRs. So coming up next year will be our 3rd annual GFR Awards. So
no, I've seen him on your live streams, both of them, but yeah, I think I've seen Nate more. It might just been the ones I was able to catch or whatever. But yeah, I'd agree with you. You all have a great chemistry together, and it works well. He's a good guest to have on there. Both of them are good guests to have on there. But well, cool. So you got all those coming up. One thing I forgot to ask earlier, but we've been talking about movies the whole time. But if we were to find you doing something that you want to go have some fun or relax, whatever, something different than movies, what would we find you doing? I'm just curious. What would you go out? What would you be doing? Whether it's listen to music, golfing, doing nothing. And
I was going to say, probably doing nothing, but no. I like to play disc golf. It's something that my son's got me on, and I haven't done it in a while, but my sons, because they were like, we need to find something that we can do with our dad.
Yeah.
It was their thing. So they called me up and they said, hey, you want to try disc golf? And I go, sure, I'll try disc golf. And I love it. It's huge fun. I enjoy it. Throw stuff and usually hopefully find my discs later. But but yeah, it's a blast. So unfortunately, we haven't done it recently, but I'd like to get back and start doing that again. But yeah,
do you have some courses around you that you can hit and that aren't too far away? Or,
there's one course.
Set up your own things, or
I set up my own thing. I have a practice basket. That I can practice putts and stuff like that. And I've got 1.5 acres of land here. So, so I can actually throw something at a good distance. But the courses are, about as far it is for me to go to a theater. So like 40 to 45 minutes away. But the courses are free. So I could just go.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. We have a couple like that too. I think I'd be bad at it, but I know there's a couple places where we go, there's bike trails that we go to, but they're like little parks, kind county parks or state parks, whatever, that are around our areas. But then they have some of the disc golf courses set up. But yeah, it's nice when it's free. I mean, if you just have to get a couple discs and
Yeah, just
and
get a
get
couple.
started.
You can take one disc and just
Yeah, get started.
get started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple mid range, but yeah, I've got probably 25 or so discs, and yeah, we go there and we just have at it. And it's a lot of fun. But this time of year, it's too hot.
Mm.
Because it's over 100 and you're going out there and you're like, unless you're hydrating really well, take a gallon of water with you. But yeah, no, I would say disc golfing. If you're not seeing me at the movies, which is probably your better chance.
Yeah, right.
Seeing me at the theater or seeing me watching a movie from my couch.
Yeah.
Which I think you've seen a picture of my house on the inside.
Yeah. You're you've had some, I don't know how long ago they were from, but I know I've seen some of your earlier videos where you were doing like movie collection, like you were showing your house setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was very cool.
Yeah, I did a thing for the Collectors Club because they were like, yeah, we want you to show off your collection. Yeah. So I did it like an episode of MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Where I brought them into the house and I'm carrying my laptop walking through and I'm like talking about all my posters and movies and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. They had a blast watching that.
That's cool. No, I think I did see that. I think Prince was taken off for the night, but he was saying Balut is the best.
Okay. So yeah, he wanted me to talk to you about Balut.
Okay. I see that up here.
So yeah, okay. And I will tell you, Prince, that I have tried Balut and it is Bahot. Because it is, that means it smells bad. But, okay. So, Balut is basically an egg that is starting to grow a chicken.
Okay.
And then it's a delicacy in the Philippines. So you basically just pop open the egg and you eat it.
Okay. I can't. I'm not making fun of it.
My father-in-law introduced me to it, and I promised myself that whatever my father-in-law threw at me, I was gonna try. And he threw that at me, and I sucked that thing down, and it was the nastiest thing I've ever had. I could say it obscenely. It's the worst thing I've had in my mouth ever. But it was gross. It was absolutely gross. You got like little tiny, like starting to grow feathers. And it was just, it was gross. And I am not a fan of dinigawan. Dinigawan is another dish that's a very big delicacy, but it's cooked usually in goat's blood or cooked in pig's blood. And I just don't like the taste of that. Yeah. And he says, haha, gross. Yeah. It's nasty, bro.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
I'm going to have to probably pass on that one. But.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. Prince, I know if you're checking out for the night, you were in here for a long time. I appreciate it very much. Very much.
Yeah. And he said, salamat for being here, David, and expect me to speak Tagalog in your live stream soon.
Oh, there you go.
To that, I can only say putakana because that's not, I don't speak too much Filipino. Putakana is a cuss word. Just, we're just leave it at that. No. Please don't. Couple words here and there or foods or cuss words, maybe, but yeah.
Hello and thank you.
Hello and thank you. Hello, thank you. Goodbye. I love you. Things like that. I know the important stuff.
Yep.
I can say mahal kita is I love you in Tagalog. And then in Ilocano, I think it's iniibig kita. And so I try to learn it in a couple different dialects for my wife.
Yeah.
And he also says quack quack is better, and I've never had quack quack, but it sounds like I'm not gonna like it.
I'm figuring
lechon. Oh, dude, lechon. That is so good. That's like that slow roasted pig.
Oh, okay.
Where they bury it and they slow roast it and you cover it, kind of like they do in Hawaii.
Yeah,
and then you
just get
that
roast before.
Yeah, we did that crunchy shell. Yeah, lechon is the best.
Okay, I'd go for that.
So good.
I'd go for that for sure. Looks like Gizmo took a nap and he's back.
I guess, good morning.
And
I think he asked if I was drunk. Yeah, no, I'm not drinking, honest.
He's just giving a hard time. He likes to do that to me too. And then if I have peace in my heart for a one-eyed dog, I think it was, that was from our discussion the other night, but Jeff was saying MTV Cribs takes me back.
Dude, it was so funny. A lot of them didn't get it, but there were a couple people that were close to my age that got it.
Yeah. No, I would. Yeah, I'd be right there for it.
Um,
Yeah, whole pig. Yeah,
yeah,
we do
that's
that.
whole.
We've
Oh,
done that
man,
before, where
so good.
you even dig the pit in the ground and
Yeah,
do the whole.
that's we do that for like those are the big parties, the graduations, the
Mhm.
family reunions,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. We do the
Mhm.
lechon, and it's so good.
Oh yeah, I'd go for that for sure.
Yeah,
I'd go for that for sure. Now we're talking about food. Now I'm gonna have to eat after we. Get
yeah.
done
You're
with
now
this.
you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to eat anyway because I haven't had dinner yet. But
Oh, well, I won't keep
favorite
it too much longer here.
no, don't worry about it. I
Okay.
eat late.
Okay. Okay.
So, favorite Filipino dessert, it's got to be biko. Biko's it's like a sweet rice with like a caramel glaze on top,
Mm.
or they take sugar on top and then they burn it. And
Yeah.
so biko is probably my favorite, but I make a mean banana, like a banana pie lumpia, where I take the banana cream pie like stuff with slices of banana and stuff, and I crush it and I put it in a lumpia wrapper like an egg roll and fry it, and you do a little caramel glaze on that. That's so good.
Oh, that
But
sounds
yeah,
good.
as far as Filipino desserts, that's biko all the way.
Oh yeah, no, yep. I'm hungry now, so that's all right.
Yeah, I want to open a fusion restaurant and do Filipino and American food.
Oh, that'd be good. I
Um,
always love trying different things, so I'll have to hunt something down. I'll have to see if I can find something around me that.
But yeah,
might
now if you can
hit on some
find
of
there's a food truck called Mr. Lumpia,
that. Yeah,
and they do this thing at the farmers market that's on Saturdays, and we try to go there just so I can get some chicken adobo and some lumpia, and the shrimp lumpia is amazing, and that's the only place that we actually go and buy Filipino food.
Oh.
Otherwise, we make it ourselves because it's better if we make it.
Oh yeah, get the homemade. That's funny. Fish was saying it's not Filipino, but all this food talk made me order DoorDash. No, but my problem is I live out in the middle of the country. I can't get DoorDash.
I can't do DoorDash.
Dang
It's
it.
nobody will deliver it to me. I'm like, hey, can you do DoorDash? And they go, sure. I'm in Three Rivers, and they go, ha ha, hang, and then nothing.
Yeah, nope. I'm too far out. But yeah,
I'm too
Fish,
far out.
I'm
I was
there with
gonna
ya.
try to do like a DoorDash here local because
Yeah,
people in hotels and stuff. That it's a big tourist town,
yeah,
and people just want to order food and maybe eat it in the hotel room.
yeah,
So I thought about that, but then I thought, yeah, I don't want to do that.
yeah.
Just yeah. I mean, he says you're welcome, Corey,
Yeah.
for the Filipino knowledge. Yeah.
I always love learning new things. So that's cool. That's cool
Yeah.
that you guys are throwing that out there for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
That was great. It was great speaking to you, Prince.
yeah, absolutely.
You're,
No, he's
you're
a
an
good
awesome
guy.
dude.
Yeah, he's very his little name, the Happy Optimist, definitely he fits that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always comes with some good questions.
Yeah.
And
I
sometimes
thought
he
that
does
was a little
rapid
bit
fire for
redundant, but I get it. I understand.
it. Happy Optimist.
Yep.
But
Oh, small egg covered in orange batter. Oh, okay.
okay.
As long as it's an egg. I mean, it sounds kind of like a Scotch egg. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've had this. Have you had a Scotch egg, Corey?
I have not, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen them before, but
Okay.
I've not had it before.
I do like Scotch eggs because it's
Mhm.
basically you take an egg and you soft boil it
Yeah.
so it's still runny, and then you wrap it in ground beef or whatever,
Yep.
and then season it, and then you cover it in breadcrumbs and you deep fry it,
Yeah.
and then you cut into it and you get a little oozy with the egg and you can eat it.
Yep.
So I like those.
Yeah. So I know with your show, you're always, covering all the new releases, like whether it's theater on streaming. So you're always looking at, I figure you got to be looking ahead quite a ways of what all is being released and coming out. Do you have anything that is coming out? Well, it can be streaming too, but I was thinking theater right off the top of my head, but even streaming, do you have anything that you're looking out that you're really excited to see? Anything that's on the horizon? If not, that's fine too. But I don't know if you had anything that was really coming up that you were like, I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because there's a trailer that I just watched recently that I was like, I want this now, and it's called Red One.
Mm.
I
don't know.
and it stars J.K. Simmons, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Chris Evans, I think. And it's a Christmas movie, and J.K. Simmons is Santa, but he's buffed.
Oh, I've seen. Okay.
And I saw a trailer for this, and I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, I want to see this movie. It was like it totally threw me. And then I played the trailer for my wife and she goes, I want that movie right now. I want it. I want it on my TV. And I started laughing.
I'll have to check that out. I have not seen the trailer yet, but it had a little movie poster thing where I recognized seeing that.
Mhm.
I'll have to check that out. I like J.K. Simmons though, so
Oh, me too. I'm a huge fan.
okay. So you got that one coming. When is that one?
I,
That's
that's November, like November 15th when it comes
so you
out.
got a little ways to
Yeah.
wait for that one.
So yeah, I was looking at well, Book of Clarence recently came out on Blu-ray, on physical, and I own it, but we're reviewing it on the 10th. So that was one I was looking forward to watching. Of course, the Netflix movie Axel F, which is a continuation of the Beverly Hills Cop series. I don't know if it's going to crap the bed, but I want to see it.
You want to check it out? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I definitely want to check it out. Okay, there's the third. Yeah, that's the third. But I know we've got our bookings all the way up to the end of July already done.
I figured you had to. You got to keep up on that.
Yeah, we usually book like at least a month out, and then and then we, like, if we have to shift something, like something doesn't get released right away, or we don't get to watch it soon enough, or something like that, then we have to flip it around. Yeah, we talked Prince into staying. He's like,
I just saw that pop up there. Never mind.
He goes, never mind. I'm staying through the end of the stream.
Yeah, we're a bad influence. But no, I figured you got to stay on top of scheduling those, because even when you keep it to 5, and sometimes there's 6 or more that you've done on those, when you got to have some time to watch all those movies, like before the next stream. So I figured, yeah, you got to be keeping on top of what's coming out and getting that scheduled out, so you have the time to get those all in for the next
one. Yeah, because I try to watch other movies, but a lot of times I only have enough time to watch the movies that we're going to review the following week.
I can understand that.
Because I mean that's 5 or 6, sometimes even more than that. So I'm at least watching a movie a day.
Yeah.
Another one that came up. It's a series that came up, but there was a trailer or a scene that showed on TikTok, and both my wife and I were like, "Okay, what is this? I want to see it."
Mm-hmm.
And it was the series Peripheral, which is on Prime, and it stars Chloe Grace Moretz. And it's like futuristic, like sci-fi stuff. But we just binged that because we saw this trailer on TikTok, or this scene in TikTok, and we wanted to know what this was. And I went and looked for it and found that it was the series Peripheral, which it did 8 episodes and it's done. But it was fantastic. It was so much fun to watch.
I haven't heard of that one. I was just writing it down.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
I've seen trailers for it and stuff, and then I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it one of these days. And then when I saw that bit on TikTok, it was like, oh, dude, I got to watch this.
So, with that being a series, do you get many series in, like with all the movies you're watching for all your streaming and everything? Do you get many?
Like I said, that's the other thing is I'll watch TV series when I'm not. I mean, I just, when I'm doing my work, whatever I'm working on at the time, I will have a TV series going in the background just to watch. Right now, it's NCIS. I'm because I own the entire series so far. They're still going, but I've binged that series like 3 or 4 times, and that's when I just keep watching. But I own 180 TV series, complete TV series.
Oh, dang.
Or at least complete to this point.
Yeah.
So I love TV series, and that's why I like doing that show with Mika and Kira, because they focus on TV series, and I don't get to do that with Rich. So it gives me a chance to kind of jump out of my Faces for Radio zone and do
something a little bit different, like a different outlet for that.
Something a little bit different. Okay. Favorite classic TV show. Okay. I'm gonna throw a curveball on this. Because it's not what normal people. It's not what everybody else would expect that I would pick.
Yeah.
And it's not I Love Lucy or Brady Bunch. My classic TV show, I'd say classic now. It's 40 years old. Is Barney Miller.
Oh, okay.
I used to love that show.
Yeah.
And it's one that I would love to get. But if we're going like way back, it would be Dick Van Dyke Show.
Okay.
I love the Dick Van Dyke Show. And My Three Sons with Fred McMurray. I enjoyed that one too.
Oh, that's good ones. Yeah, I was trying to think about that too, and like some of mine, I don't know if I would necessarily say they're the best TV shows, but there's a couple that I just have some nostalgia for. So I remember with my grandpa, I think there's two that he would watch reruns of, and it was Hogan's Heroes and Andy Griffith Show, and so some reason I would probably go to those just because I remember watching those with him and having a good time. Um, Prince was saying I actually have three nicknames, Corey: Happy Optimist, the Dreamwalker, and Purple Rainmaker. Well, there you go. That's quite a few, man.
My nicknames can't be done on live.
You have to go to the paid version.
You have to go to the paid version for $9.95. You can get my nicknames, which but Fat Bastard is one. No, that's one I give myself. But no, my wife calls me Silly Puppy, and that's my nickname that she gives me. And the other one is SHIT Head. That's my other nickname.
Yeah, I think we all have that one once in a while.
I think we all have that one.
Yeah, we all have that one once in a while.
She also calls me Cracker.
Okay.
So, and I just recently found that one out.
That was a new one for you.
That was a new one. She was like, we were in Walmart, and she goes, "Hey, you didn't pick up the crackers." And I was like, "Since when am I on cracker duty?" She goes, "You're always on cracker duty, cracker."
You're like,
and I'm like,
okay.
I go, "Hey, that sounded racist." and she goes, "Oh, I just realized it was racist."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, now go get the crackers."
so now go get crackers.
Yeah,
cracker.
go get them. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Brian was jumping in here saying, "Hey, everybody, Corey Dave's still going after 3 hours."
We were talking about this. This is probably going to be a long one because Corey and I just love talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting some great responses in the chat. So
yeah. I'm just going through some of these, but Fish was saying, "Hey, I was on Barney Miller."
Yeah, because there's a character named Fish.
Oh, okay, I got you.
On Barney Miller.
I was like, "How?"
I love that, Abe Vigoda, and I'm like, "That didn't look like you, Fish," but that's okay. But yeah, I don't know why Barney Miller. It was just a cop show, but they were never out. They were always in the squad room.
Yeah,
and that's how the whole show took place in the squad room.
Yeah,
and it was hilarious. I loved it.
I don't know if I mean I know of it, but I don't know if I've ever really watched that one. So yeah. I did get not too long ago. Well, not too long ago. It doesn't seem like long ago, but now it actually has been. So last Black Friday, when they were doing some of the sales, I got the Blu-ray complete series of Twilight Zone, and so
nice.
I wanted to. I've seen quite a few of those reruns, but I definitely have not seen the entire series. But I wanted to start trying to work back through some of those, but then like kind of not along those lines, but saying classic Doctor Who. Prince was saying,
I have never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
My son liked some of the reboot ones, not the old classic, but just watched the finale of the Flash series. Okay,
I own that series.
I have
Get Smart.
Well,
that's good.
Yeah, Get Smart. Well, and then it depends which Flash series, because I have
both of them, but I own both of them. But I'm pretty sure he was talking about the Grant Gustin one, the CW one. But but yeah, I also have the other one, the original.
I have that,
but
the
90s, I think.
Yep, 90s. I have the DVD set of that, and I saw it got a Blu-ray release now too. But I'll probably stick with my DVDs on that one. I like Who as well. Oh, Doctor Who. Yeah. What's the Filipino tradition that you just had culture shock with?
It's kind of weird, but the Filipino barbecue was probably the thing, because if because I'm thinking like we're gonna barbecue, that means there's just there's gonna be meat on the barbecue. A couple people are gonna be over, drinking beers or whatever. But when a Filipino family says, "Hey, come over for a barbecue," everybody is bringing food. everybody brings food. Everybody cooks the food. You know, there's everything that you would, you know, you could think of is like, and there's 50 to 100 people there, and it's all
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
It's a family reunion. It's not a barbecue.
Yeah.
And it actually prepared me for a luau in Hawaii.
Oh, sure.
Because I went to Oahu, and they took me to a luau, and I went to the luau with a couple other, I'm just going to say howlies, white people. We go to this luau, and everybody's just, you know, the two guys that were with me, they're just standing around, and I'm just like, I walked right in. I started cooking my own meat. I'm peeling shrimp. I'm doing all this stuff. And some guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, you been to a luau before?" And this is a Hawaiian guy. And I go, "No, Filipino barbecue." And he goes, "Oh, you know what you're doing. Go ahead."
Yeah. Close enough. Get in here.
Close enough. It works. So yeah, that was kind of a neat little thing. You know, a lot of people in Hawaii though apologize for the fact that I have a Filipino wife, but oh, I'm so sorry. Your wife's Filipino.
You're like,
I'm like, you know, I have a jacket. It folds in the front. But yeah, no, I got to say that was probably the biggest culture shock because, you know, family reunions for my family growing up was like maybe once a year, if not once every 2 years. And it wouldn't even be half the family that would show up. But, oh, dude, crock pot and Cool Whip containers all over the place. You could take, and they would be like, "Take food home. Take it. Take food here." So yeah, no, we're actually recording now, Evan. So
you're watching the beginning.
You're watching it over again. It's not us. We been
just
replaced.
got it on a loop.
We just got it on a loop. We're just showing everything over again. But yeah, that was the thing, is that the family element in Filipino culture is so closely knit. And Prince, I don't know if you can confirm this, because I mean, I only know one Filipino family, but I mean, if we go to a family reunion, it's massive. If we always go Thanksgiving, we always go to visit family, and everybody shows.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
That's fun though. I mean, I like that connection you'd have with all the family then, you know. But like you said, yeah. Well, I don't even think we did family reunions once a year, but we had a nice group of family that was around us. We had a bunch of cousins who were around my age, and so aunts and uncles, and we'd do stuff, but it would be a smaller group. You know, there'd be, you know, probably pushing like 15 of us or something, but we did a lot of things together, you know, little barbecues or, you know, get together. It's nice to have that family connection. It seems like a lot of that, I think a lot of times in our culture, we lose that quite a bit. So that's cool to see or hear.
Yeah,
for sure. I missed what Prince said here. We have this thing too that's called boodle fight.
Boodle fight. I haven't heard that term before, but I know what you're talking about. It's basically the ultimate family style meal.
Okay.
And everything goes on the table all together, and you just go ahead and grab what you want and grub. And I'm right now looking at some pictures of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was called.
Well, and that's what and I know it's different, but that's where it's cool seeing different cultures and how they handle you know, social outings or, you know, restaurants or, you know, food. We were in Hong Kong. It's been quite a while ago, but like being in restaurants where it was just one big table and it was like, you know, all of you sitting together, and it was it just made me think of that a little bit. You ordered your own foods, but you were, you know, like passing things down,
but it was family style.
Yeah.
You spun the lazy Susan around, you grabbed what you wanted.
Yep. And you didn't necessarily know the people that were sitting next to you, but you were, you know, hanging out and eating with them. But
yeah. And Prince finishes off on a banana leaf, and yeah, it's like the banana leaf is the tablecloth, and you put all the food on the banana leaf, and you just make like this collage of different types of foods and stuff.
Oh gosh, man, I'm gonna have to eat.
So good.
Banana leaf.
Evan, my mom forgot to tell me about the family reunion.
told me the next day
Oh,
I was pissed.
told me that I was the biggest family reunion we ever had. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate that.
You could have made it
Yeah,
one more bigger.
yeah, no, it's funny. So my mom passed away in 1991. And I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, we didn't have any more family reunions.
Well,
It was like you know, it was like my mom was the glue for the whole family.
kept it
And then
going,
once she
kept it
passed
together.
away, everyone just kind of,
Yeah.
so yeah, the closest thing we've had to a family reunion since then is like 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And now I only have one uncle left. But I do have a brother now that I didn't know I had until I was like 40. So I have a brother and his family. So
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. It's we're kind of like that now too. It's much smaller groups of us that can get together when we do it, but I don't know. It's still nice to be able to do that. And
Mhm.
but I know this is like switching gears quite a bit. But Fish was throwing out there. Do you have a favorite variety or skit show? His is Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
I did like laughing. Did I have a favorite? Not really. um because I was forced to watch Lawrence Welk as a child.
Oh,
So
I remember that. Yep,
my
yep.
grandparents force fed me Lawrence Welk.
I remember that.
Well, follow the dancing bubbles, and it was just like and I absolutely hated it. And I guess it's part of the reason why I don't like musicals is because that was, you know, it's kind of like spinach. If it was forced on you as a child, you don't like it as an adult. Um, and that's kind of, I didn't care for that, but I did like, I mean, In Living Color, I guess would probably be my favorite.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Because it had had Jennifer Lopez as a dancer on the show. I mean, come on, but you got Jim Carrey, you got Damon Wayans,
You got the Wayans
great
brothers,
skits, great stuff. Saturday Night Live will be the GOAT, but I do like it. You know, they had the dance numbers and things like that on In Living Color. So that'd be the one I'd pick as my favorite. I did like Mad TV though.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And that was another one.
I forgot about that one. One that I always remember, you were talking about your grandparents having something on and you kind of got forced to watch it. I remember them always having Hee Haw on. Do you know that one at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With like Minnie Pearl.
It was like that too. It's like, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy was like Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk.
Yep. But then one thing I did really end up liking, and I wanted to go back. I know they have old sets of them, but one thing they'd watch quite a bit, and I remember watching with them when they let me stay up later was a Johnny Carson show. The late night with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Carson, if I could talk. I always kind of like that, so I don't know if that falls into that, but that was kind of one of those. Sometimes they would do little skits and things in that. So that's my loose tie-in for that one.
Yeah, I love, for Johnny Carson, I always love Karnak.
Yeah.
I love his Karnak stuff. It was so funny.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Poor us, David. My grandparents watched Lawrence Welk too. Yep.
Right?
So did mine.
Oh.
Too. Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like,
yeah, because I was like, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna throw another one out there, The Muppet Show.
Oh yeah.
For a variety skit show. Yeah. That was always fun. And I enjoyed that.
No, for sure. No, yeah. Mad TV was great. Jeff was saying. Evan's saying, Whose Line?
Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's fun. I mean, it's an improv show, but yeah.
Gosh, man, that's been a long time since I've seen that, but it was funny, man. I
still watch it every now and then because I think it's on a streaming service.
Oh, is it?
Where you can just
kind of. Oh yeah, some of those they just do like the 24 hours. Like one channel is just the one show, and it's just the one show.
Yeah, if you go on a streaming service, you can just binge it and watch all that stuff. But yeah, I used to watch Whose Line all the way back to when they had a British host, and it was a British show.
I don't remember. I guess I hadn't seen that one, but
yeah.
What I was going to say is I always was impressed with the people that were on there to how they just kept going and would play off of each other, and they'd give them one little simple thing, and then they would turn it into this.
So this elaborate, yeah, so fun.
Yep. I know this isn't like skit shows, but I was just thinking, I just happened to have this sitting here and I looked down at it. But when we were talking about TV series, I'm sure you probably remember it, but I bought this like for $9 or something, but it's DVD, but News Radio. Do you ever remember that one?
Oh man, yeah, I remember
With Phil
that.
Hartman and and but we were talking about skit shows.
Kids in the
David,
Hall.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
That's the one I was.
I knew
Gonna
exactly
get
where you
to.
were going with that.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that was a skit show I remember watching a
yeah.
little bit too. But yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I think that counts. I watched Carson and
Carson
Letterman.
and Letterman.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. David needs a longer cup. That one's so short. That's what you were asked earlier if you were doing a yard of beer, right?
Where I was doing a yard of beer.
It's on Max. Oh, which one?
That's the
Who's
Who's Line.
Who's
Yeah.
Line? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I have that. Oh,
I knew it was on one that I had because every once in a while I'll just go and watch it.
I wrote that down because I actually have Max, so I'll have to check it out. Great stream, Corey and David. Thanks for an interesting conversation. My pillow is screaming. That 6 a.m. is. Oh, I know. Thanks for hanging out as long as you
Thanks
did.
for
I know
hanging
this
out
is-
with us. Appreciate it.
We're probably going to be winding down because I know I'm going to. I need now. I'm all hungry. We've been talking about food forever, so I'm going to have to eat, and then
My stomach's growling too, but
I'm
there's reasons behind that too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know the work day is going to be calling tomorrow, but no, thank you very much for hanging out. I know you were in here
Yeah.
for a very, very long time. So we'll get through some of these last ones and we'll wrap
We'll
her
see
up
if we
for
can
the
break
night.
it down.
Yeah. The Muppets.
Oh yeah,
too.
Muppets. I gotta
Speaker.
say the Swedish Chef's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
He got to crack me up.
What was the space one?
Yeah, pigs in space.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
And then I still to this day do the mana.
Yeah.
My best friend Mike and I do that, or because he does it. I was like mana, and then he goes. We just so funny. So I sent him that for Christmas one year. A stuffed animal that does that, and
Yeah.
he's like, he wore the batteries out on that thing.
Yeah. So you get into karaoke? Prince was saying that's a great
No,
tradition.
no, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. There is no way. If I did karaoke in front of my Filipino family, no way. They would disown me. It would be no.
Jeff was saying, "Thanks for giving me somewhere to hang out for this evening, my friends." Oh, thanks
Jeff,
thanks for hanging out,
thanks, brother.
man. You're always fun to have around.
And yeah. Salamat, Prince. It was great getting to know you.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you hopefully on my channel, but
yeah, no, I'm sure he'll be out there. He said
on.
he subscribed earlier, so he's a great supporter, and I see him jumping around to a lot of people's streams. He's a busy one. He gets around there, so I'm sure he'll be out there for you. But yeah, no. So I'll say, David, this has been a blast tonight, and that's one thing I can't believe we're like 3 hours and 18 minutes. It says that we've been live,
Yep.
and it doesn't feel like that long, but that's where it's kind of cool. Where you got somebody fun to hang out and talk to. It doesn't. It goes by fast.
it doesn't feel like it. It's not a job when you're having fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Fish was saying Statler and Waldorf were my faves. Probably why I'm so snarky and sarcastic. That's all right. You got to be a little bit. That's all right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say thank you so much for jumping on here and doing this. And yeah, I'd love to, maybe sometime get back on with you and Rich and go through some more movies, because like I said, that's such a great practice to just grab some that are coming out, and maybe it's outside of your wheelhouse, but it gets you to watch them and dig into them, especially with your ranking system that you all use, or you created for that show. It definitely, for me anyway, when I did it, it made me focus on some different aspects of the movie that maybe I didn't all the time. But no, I really appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing more about when you're leading up here to. You said August 1st was the big live stream for the
August 1st is a big live stream for Spirits with Spirits.
Yeah.
And then September 27th through the 30th is my Pennsylvania visit, if that works out.
Oh, cool. Oh man, you got some big things to be looking forward to here for sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you hit those?
Rich has said that he's going to be willing to drive all the way up to Pennsylvania to come and see me. So if we get to do that, if we get to meet face to face, that's going to be awesome.
Well, for sure. Thanks, Fish.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
appreciate
Fish.
you being out here too.
Sorry about the musicals and the Coldplay, but
Yeah, he's like, anything else that I like you want to insult tonight before you leave?
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say, if you have something else you like, let me know, and I'll see if I can insult that. I'll roast whatever you put out, fish. It's fine.
Yep, we're pretty good at it. We've had
Yeah,
practice.
I'm good at roasting fish.
Yep. No, he's good.
Bringing food back into it. Did you see how I did that?
Yep.
Yeah,
dad joke.
nice.
And, yep.
Did that.
I love it.
Yeah, like
But-
I'll say, man,
I'll be here all week.
I'm so afraid of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over them.
Nice. Night. I might have to use that one. I'll use that one. But all right. Well, we'll wrap it up for tonight. But David, absolutely, it was fun hanging out. It always is.
Movie Collector Maniac just jumped on. Yes, the show is about over finally.
It is about over. About over. And he's like, how long has it been about over? Hey, that's how it goes with me. I've slowly gained that reputation. And
I can't. I love the Goonies.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't.
Goonies, Monster Squad, Ferris Bueller. Yeah,
Those
I
are
love
off
all
limits.
those.
You can't.
Yeah,
You
those I won't touch those.
But all right, for real, we'll wrap it up here. But David, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat that's been in here for the long haul or a little bit. It's a blast, and that's why Dave and I like doing this thing.
Yeah,
it makes it so much fun. So
definitely, it would have been a lot shorter if you guys had to talk. So
absolutely, yeah. But that's what makes it even.
That's what we love about this. So yeah, thank you guys, and Corey, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah,
I am down to come back.
Dude.
And maybe we'll have Rich too, so the both of us will come back.
I would love it.
And we'll do like a Faces for Radio movie
cool.
club, and
I'd do that.
That'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, we got to get you back on for By the Numbers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, I would do that.
Jeff, see you, brother.
Yeah, everybody's saying good night. So,
night, fish.
But yeah, everybody for chiming in, I appreciate it. We both appreciate it very, very much, and we'll be talking to everybody here really soon. So we'll say goodbye for now, but we'll be hanging out again sometime for another short stream. So
absolutely.
All right.